still playing catch-up, guys, but I'm here. I didn't even get to show you guys how goofy I look in my helmet yet, so there's that. Thank you for the follow, Cheryl. No, I said Cheryl. Cheryl. Yeah, this week just kind of kicked my ass. Today, I really didn't. I didn't do much. I worked around the house on some stuff that I had been neglecting, water heater and some stuff like that. Did some maintenance stuff around the house, but I didn't even work today. I just tried to take it easy. I'm fucking smoked this week. Like, plus I've been pushing. I've been working out lately. Well, I guess just on the treadmill. So cardio stuff. I've been pushing it really hard this week. I think it's burning the candle at both ends. It's kind of wore me down. Trying to make some improvements over here, baby. I don't want to get winded anymore. To be fair, you'd be hard pressed to find somebody that's fat and vapes that has the cardio that I have, but it needs to be better for sure. When you're born into a fire, let them burn it out. Sell them to the rich. I'm deceptively fast. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away, fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Listen up now, because we're never dropping out. Beat the odds, beat the big house. Yeah, I've always been, I don't know. You guys have seen photos of me in high school. I've never been small. I got a big frame to begin with. But, I mean, I ran a 4.6 40 when I was in high school, so it's not bad. It's really good, actually. I shouldn't even say not bad. That's good. Especially if you're not having any legs. I think it's the rolling action that really helps me out. The more I roll, the better I do, maybe. Yeah, I was, it is for a linebacker. That's like, it's not great for like a free safety, or a safety, anybody over the top. It's not great. But it was faster than any of our outside linebackers. Oh, Mariah's here, I guess. Mariah just came in. Yeah, if you're going to play over the top, if you're going to play basically anything, free safety, cornerback, you've got to be faster than that for sure. And taller than I'm 6 foot tall. So like, if you don't know, most defensive players are extremely tall. Like 6 foot tall is not great, even for an inside linebacker. They want somebody to get their hands up. They want somebody above defensive lineman or whoever comes to the second level there. Yeah, it's height has a lot to do with it, especially being like a cornerback, free safety, but even like linebackers and shit. All of the defense, they want height on it. And I'm 6 foot tall exactly, so. And I was competing against guys that were like 6'3", 6'4", that were faster than me, a lot faster than me. But it is what it is. What was Yeah, so you usually find I'll play the intro in just a second. You usually find running backs around 4'4", 4'5". Free safety, same thing, 4'4", 4'5". Strong safety can be a little bit slower. He's playing on the strong side of the ball. But when you start getting like 4.6, now you're talking about inside and outside linebackers. It's not a bad number. It's pretty good. An outside linebacker will usually be faster, but here we go.
Hey daddies, it's me, the Linda Binda from TikTok. I wanted to make this video because I wanted to thank you for watching Cold Beer Confessionals with Will Bird. I think that's just incredible. I've watched a few episodes and I'm just like very intrigued. But you know what I'm most intrigued in is Big Daddy's meat stick. I heard that it's very thick, like a good old German sausage. You know, Linda and her coochie loves that. Oh, never mind. Let's not go there. Anyways, I hope you have a good show and enjoy it as you can. There's a lot of weird things that go on, especially when
outside
it comes
the
from
NFL
the
average
realm
for an
of
outside
Linda
linebacker, I think, is
so,
4.6.
enjoy the show. Thanks for
4.59,
watching.
4.6, something like that.
Peace out.
Captain 318 just resubscribed for 18 months.
Way to throw it right there in the middle of my transition. Way to ruin the momentum, Captain 318. Captain 318er. Thank you very much. Thank you guys for joining us. I appreciate it. I don't know why we're talking about 40-yard dash times. Yeah, 4.6 isn't bad. But I'm a bigger guy, too. I mean, we had guys that were faster than that. But instead of playing football, I went to jail. So there you have it. Thank you guys for joining us. I'm Will Bird. This is the Cold Beer Confessional. Coming off a pretty grueling week. Today, I didn't do a whole lot. Like I said, I did maintenance around the house. We had a water heater issue. Somehow our water heater knows when Mariah is using the shower or when I'm using the shower. And when I'm using the shower, it works flawlessly. But when Mariah's using the shower, suddenly it shuts down. There's no hot water. It's freezing cold. Ice cubes coming out of the shower head. I don't know how it works. Must have some type of probe or sensor. I don't know. But no, I did do some maintenance. I drained it, and so ours is a gas-fired water heater. A lot of them on campers are like electric and gas. We use gas. The electric is just, we use the electric. It's faster, but it uses a lot of electricity. But we use them both at the same time, simultaneously. And that kind of keeps, the electric can keep it easier without having to fire up the gas, can keep it at temperature. But the gas helps ease our electric bill when it's warming it up. But what was happening was, I might have something wrong with the electrical system, but the gas, where it goes through what they call an orifice, and which is a tiny little hole that gets the flame just the right size, and then it sprays gas. Same way if you have a gas fireplace or anything. And it's got automatic ignition. So when the water temperature gets so low, it kicks on, automatic ignition comes on, whatever. Well, so we've had strong winds the last couple of days, and sometimes the wind will blow out a pilot light. If it hits the vent just right, it'll blow out a pilot light. But I thought maybe that was it. But I could hear it like, instead of being like, it was like fluttering. It was like back and forth. I'm not making those sounds again. But I just cleaned it up with some carbon choke cleaner. And then I ran out of that. Or I'm sorry, it's brake parts cleaner. And then I found some starting fluid, which is a solvent as well. Sprayed that all over there. And then I set the side of the camper on fire. And then once I put out the fire, it was good to go. So there you go. There you go. A day with accomplishments. But other than that, I walk a 38-minute mile. Yeah. Man, I can't believe how slow I am running. It's embarrassing to see how long it takes me to. I don't run. I guess I alternate like jogging slow and jogging fast. But it's embarrassing to see how slow my jog is. At least I can still outrun my kids. If they ever get old enough to outrun me, I'll probably break one of their legs. I can still outrun them now. I usually, so when I finish the stream, I do 3 miles on the treadmill. I was trying to force it before the stream, but that was pushing the stream back. So now I do it after the stream because I got ample time and nowhere to be except home and in the bed. So yeah, I usually do 3 miles on the treadmill after this. I had been just trying to get 3 miles on my phone, like when I'm like through the day walking, and I still do usually. I get 3 miles on my phone just from like work and moving around or whatever. I try to stay moving, try to stay doing stuff. But now, because the show usually ends after midnight, the first 3 miles to meet my goal or whatever, I go ahead and do on the treadmill. So even if I don't do anything all day, I got my 3 miles in after midnight the night before. So there you go. I was looking at Sour Boy. This is sourboys.gg. I was reading this guy's story. So this is a YouTuber. His name is Oompaville. We've actually watched some of his videos. Is that his name? Or did I just say it wrong? Is it Oompaville or is it the other guys? What's the other guy's name? Anyways, yeah, it's Oompaville. He covers a lot of, he's like a reactionary, does different topics or whatever. And he opened a candy company. So he got scammed while he was opening this. This is his candy company. If you want to support it, it's sour.gg. Instead of .com, you put in .gg. And I was just looking at his candy. I'll probably buy some eventually. But most of it's sold out right now. They do have cotton candy, but I'm not a cotton candy fan. But the strawberry, raspberry, and cherry mango are both sold out. They do limited drops. So every Friday, they restock their website apparently. But he got scammed by a guy that was supposed to build. So like, I guess they were making candy with a candy manufacturer. And then they wanted to bring it all in-house. I don't know. I'm a sucker for scams, like listening about scams. But they wanted to bring it all in-house, and it just so happens that of course, this is how it always happens. It just so happens that in his community, there was an automation engineer that worked in like manufacturing and food products, like the perfect guy to get this stuff set up. Ends up charging him like, he ends up spending over $1 million, but I think he ends up giving this guy over $600,000. The machine never gets fully delivered, never gets set up right. There's a whole scam behind this thing. You guys should go watch it over on Oompaville. It happened like last year. I just didn't know about it. But yeah, he ends up giving this guy over $500,000, spends over $1 million total and all the things. And the guy just went and ordered a candy machine from China for like $50,000. And he still didn't even get all the parts to it and shit. Like, he still, to this day, hasn't have it delivered. And it was like over a year ago that they were talking about it. He also did a thing on Steven Crowder on his channel. I actually wanted to watch this earlier. Let's grab it right here and at least jump around and see what it's about. By the way, thank you guys for joining us. Like I said, I'm Will Bird. This is the Cold Beer Cafe Show. If you want to support the show, go to coldbeer.fund, coldbeer.fund, where you can make a contribution to the show. Keep it going. Keep the bills paid and the lights on. We're 100% funded by viewers, so check it out. Coldbeer.fund. This is only from 8 days ago, so this has to be about his ex-employee, divorce, wife stuff. Right. He's a really bad comedian, by the way. I don't want to watch. I can't watch this guy's like whole video. I get flagged for copyright, I'm sure, because he's a decent sized YouTuber. But oh, the audio isn't playing. He's a decent sized YouTuber, but I don't want to get flagged for it.
Memes that you've probably seen, and also some old comedy that he used to do as well.
There's a disturbing trend.
His comedy sucks. That's why I said it.
Guys seen this? It's a Native American Indian contraption. Consists of wooden hoops and feathers. It's supposed to help you sleep soundly. This guy stinks!
If you don't know who Steven Crowder is, then I implore you to keep it that way. YouTube has seen the...
So the joke was, why would you have a dream catcher in your car if it's supposed to make you sleep soundly?
rise and fall of so many influencers of varying levels of respectability, success, and credibility. Myself. So last time, guys, I was awarded the key to the city. PewDiePie. What a fucking Mr. Beat.
I built a massive isolation chamber. And we're gonna see if these two strangers can survive in this chamber for the next 100 days.
The platform has allowed a plethora of different individuals with different backgrounds to grow audiences that they otherwise couldn't from any other platform. All right, YouTube is awesome. There are billions of users on this website. I think. I don't know. I think it's billions. I shouldn't say stuff that's not true. The content that's uploaded to this website ranges from Roblox to political commentary to whatever the
Anyways, his candy company looks cool if you want to check out his candy.
this is.
So I just got back from Japan. I wanted to show you some of the cool stuff that I saw there. Like this chicken nugget vending machine.
Knowledge Fight has covered his shittiness. Yeah, he like, believe it or not, I used to watch Steven Crowder back in the day, and he used to be like, oh yeah, he's righteous outrage, and I used to fucking cheer it. Why are they doing this to us? Somebody should say something. But then I started actually researching the stuff he was talking about, and it seemed like the stuff he's talking about is just another fucking talking point that's over exaggerated. Not all the details are there. They're putting a spin on it automatically. And now starting to see glimpses into his personal life. He seems like a real piece of shit. But aren't they all? All the best ones are, I think.
Today, though, we talked about the ladder. We were talking about a political commentary show known as Ladder with Crowder. We have a nice true story in the Detroit area.
I used to be like super into this shit. Like I know a lot of people come in here and call me a liberal now. I don't think I'm a libtard or whatever they call me. I would say I try to stay in the middle. Like I try to take the spin off everything and just find the facts and then relate that to some type of moral standard that I have. But I definitely used to be further right for sure.
Cozy. And the only reason I'm talking about this is not because I'm slowly pivoting my way into politics and getting fence posts out of my asshole. It's because there is some drama afoot. By the way, this is a crazy story. This whole thing is fucking mind-boggling.
I don't like when people like I don't know when the news should be the news, right? This thing happened, right? That's what it should. There's a political spin on everything. Everybody takes it into their little corner and then puts some type of outrage on it because this or that, leaves parts out, adds stuff in, and throws it back at you over and over again. I fucking hate that. I don't care who you vote for, but you should know not someone's opinion on the facts. You should know just the facts and how those relate to things. Like one of the topics that I think, well, there's a bunch of them, but one of the topics I think that people are so fucking misinformed on is fucking immigration and how immigration works within our economy, how immigration works at the border, how people overstay their visas or are here illegally, how they got here, how they leave here, where they're at, what they're doing, what income brackets they're in. The people that do come in on those like H visas or whatever for like the tech jobs, like no one knows anything about immigration, but they just scream, "There, we're being invaded." Like no one knows anything about it.
I didn't want to make a video about this for a long time, and there's just so much to it that it is incredibly entertaining and wild that this is a real thing that you can just be you can be a part of it immediately by watching a video on it.
So this was a crazy video. She's extremely pregnant, and apparently not only is she extremely pregnant, they tried for a long time unsuccessfully to have kids. There was some type of issue. I don't know if it's her issue, his issue, it doesn't matter. But they tried unsuccessfully for a long time. And then like he won't let her take the car. He's not allowed to leave the house for some reason. I think he has some type of injury or something, surgery. She wants to leave the house, but he's like, "You're not taking the car. You could call somebody. What am I supposed to do? Just sit here?" Like, this is weird.
I'm currently being legally abused and intimidated into silence by a former employer. This has been going on for a while now.
Oh, yeah. I've done that before, too. Who's that? FR Fox. I've said, like, "Oh, well, this number of something happened today." And people are like, "Oh, yeah, you fucking libtard." And now the further side of the right wing just throws everything out. I had some idiot in my fucking Telegram today who was like, "Oh, here's a link from CNN. Maybe they'll believe it now." Yeah, probably over a guy with a Telegram channel. Yeah, I will believe anybody in the news before I believe a Telegram link. Sure. Right. I agree with that. The fuck is that supposed to mean?
Simply cannot live in darkness for another day. Simon Crowder has been the topic of discussion quite a bit recently, and for a plethora of different reasons. I think I've used the word plethora twice now, so I'll stop that. The reasons could be as follows: the treatment of his wife, or the mistreatment of his wife. Because if you refuse to do wifely things, then I will go pick up the groceries. His recent lawsuits. He's a very
If you refuse to do wifely things, then I will go pick up the groceries.
This guy, he loves getting sued and suing people. Conservative commentator Steven Crowder is being accused of sexual harassment, according to the New York Post. 10 former employees say Crowder ran an abusive company where he often screamed at his employees, including his own father, exposed himself.
The dick thing is weird. Like, even if they say like the not gay Jared or whatever they called him, even if they say he started it, the correct response is to fire that person. So like if you have an employee that starts showing people his dick randomly, the correct response, if you're in charge, is to fire that person, not do it back to them and be like, "Well, you started it."
Sent out directives to arbitrarily fire people and made underlings wash his laundry. And specifically on that, alleging that his employees are plotting against him.
That is true. You had to wash his laundry. You had to bring him tea at a certain time, have it ready on his desk, make sure his iPad was charged, make sure everything was set right, wash his laundry, bring it back. Just weird. I don't know if it's like a power thing to him. Because a lot of people said, like, when you work there, it is your life, right? Dave Landau was like, well, they fucking freaked out because I wasn't there, like, at 6 a.m., even though we weren't recording until 10 a.m., and it's because I couldn't get a flight. You know, it was so weird.
I really wanted to have all of my employees upload an exposed video on me for April 1st, but none of them had anything negative to say. So, like usual in these videos, you gotta go back to the very, very beginning, as if it were all a dream, and you have to learn new things about someone who you may not want to learn new things about. You will, because you like watching my videos for some reason. Either that or they just show up and you can't help
I did ride the one wheel a little bit.
Popularity.
And a brand new liquor store just opened down the road. So Mariah went there. They had their grand opening, and she got a free T-shirt.
It was approximately 5 to 7 years ago. What would that era be called? The owning libs era? I don't really know what that's like. 16 to 2018. Owning the left.
The owning the libs. And then they kind of became them. Right? Remember when the meme was like people screaming and crying and freaking out over the election and not accepting that Trump won, and they were snowflakes? Well, then they kind of became them.
Boy to be a Boy Scout. You have to be a boy to be a Boy Scout. In the name Boy Scouts. I don't know what that era is called. This guy had quite a fucking peak though back then. I mean, look at these views, dude. 45 million. Oh, 31 million. Oh, 25 million. SJW Fat Pride Feminist panel crashed by Crowder.
View is it possible that within fighting the idea of body shaming, there's actually a possibility of shaming natural male biology that prefers thinner, healthier women?
I think it's that survey says natural male biology or not.
It's so fucking crazy. It's like a little window into a different era. As a result of this genuine great success, Steven touts himself as the #1 conservative daily comedy show. So there's not any others, I don't think. Are there any other comedy shows, conservative comedy shows? Certainly none with more cross-dressing.
Conservative comedy show. He does like to dress like a woman a lot. This is Oompaville. Let me share his link so I don't feel like I'm just ripping his video off. He does really good videos. I see him all the time in my news feed and watch him. Oh, I need to be subscribed on this. This is not the account I'm on my phone, but I need to subscribe on this account too, I guess.
I'm Stephanie. In fact, it is the same political commentary to such an extent that his first video from 15 years ago is a video about Hamas and Israel, which is still relevant today, but with a lot more cringe.
Hamas is like that kid in the schoolyard who always threatened everyone with karate, and then when he really got into a fight, he just got worked.
He also started off at Fox News. He was on Fox News a bit. He got fired from Fox News, I think. That's just a little factoid that I know. From the beginning on YouTube, he really leaned into the conservative comedy skits, which is a very unique genre.
Hey folks, come on down to Crazy Pete's abortion barn. We offer abortions at lowest prices, guaranteed.
Oh, Crazy Pete, we love.
Some of his skits are funny, but I don't know that when I laugh at the skits, I'm laughing at him as well. Like it's not like he's the comedian showing me how crazy this setup is. It's like he's the crazy guy who believes this is how people actually act and showing me this setup, I guess.
Crazy Pete.
Crazy Pete's abortion barn, killing babies and slashing prizes.
Klopper's first taste of virality came from him exposing the Canadian healthcare system because he's Canadian.
We want to get true, authentic reactions and show you folks what it's really like to get treatment in a socialized healthcare system.
This video has the worst fucking audio quality ever. It's like a Project Veritas hidden camera footage thing, but just really bad. I actually don't even know if he's Canadian. I'm just guessing. Crowder would also interview people on the street, and a lot of
He is
content
Canadian.
is interesting, right? This is not really a long time ago. It's just like funny YouTube. This was when stuff was a lot funnier to me. Crowder, very charismatic guy, very loud guy, talks fast, has a pretty high pitched voice, big giant head, very negative cancel tilt. In fact, let's upload him to incel.tech. That's a good image. Oh, bro, if he drops me an L right here, I'm gonna be so upset. God damn it! Dude, there's no way. It's the most unflattering photo of him, dude. That is so fucking funny. Bro's naturally charismatic. He's handsome. He's got the cancel tilt. I don't know. I thought he had a big giant head, but I'm not sure. Big watermelon head, but I guess not. It's me. I'm the one with the watermelon head. Regardless of any of this nonsense, the thing that he's doing online was doing very well, and he started to grow a team around him. One of the big standouts.
Oh, let's see what's new. So that's not gay Jared, and this is his last show right here, where they were basically had what was supposed to be like a cordial handoff and gone. I'm having kids. I'm leaving. But it doesn't seem like behind the scenes it was that cordial, or at least not what they made it out to be. We covered this guy's GoFundMe.
Not gay Jared, not gay Jared, Antifa, undercover Antifa. This was in liberal spyware and not just a magic Chinese modem like they put in all your fucking appliances.
Okay, Alexa, who is the Lord Jesus Christ?
Jesus Christ is a fictional character.
He joined Steven for a live review of the...
They freaked out because it said fictional.
Amy Schumer stand-up special.
Have you ever had a guy come in your mouth and go, does it taste okay?
Okay, what's the time, Edward? 1:09.
This is some of the content that I did see back in the days.
She is. So Amy Schumer is really bad at comedy. It's basically just like, I'm fat, I'm nasty, my pussy's disgusting, laugh at me.
Like just making fun of
pretty
Amy Schumer.
bad.
I didn't really do that. I wasn't really a part of that, but I always thought that was kind of funny. And I still see people doing it, and I'm like, is that all right? Can we do that? Are we allowed to just make fun of someone because they suck? I guess so, right? Like, we can do that. Can't we? Jared left the show in 2018 after working for Steven for 3 years.
He's going to be leaving last time there. Not gay Jared. And there we go. Come on in. It's Key Grip Garrett, who is a quarter black. He helped us with some hidden cameras. And you are, right? You can confirm this?
Yes, I can confirm my
We bleeped him earlier.
Garrett and Jared were very important in getting Steven's
Quarter black Garrett.
channel to where it is now.
He used to be the key grip guy.
It's not just Steven. It's not like all Steven. Obviously, there's an entire team that goes behind all this stuff. You know, it's how all this works. All entertainment, all content creation, it all works as a team of people. Anyways, a vast majority of Steven's most popular videos are the Change My Mind series. It's a bunch of really good memes. Some of them are Halo related. Okay. In this series, Steven would champion his take on a hotly debated topic in a public setting. He would argue with students. He would argue with, I think, mostly it's just all college students. It seems like.
Would you like to do that in the United States?
I'd love to be honest, personally.
Just ban guns.
Honestly, like, what I mean, I understand it's fun shooting a gun. I've been to a gun range before. There's a nice adrenaline feeling when you're shooting at a target, like, you know, and it's just satisfying when you hit the middle of the target. And it's just like any other sport, sure, per se, but I feel like we would gain so much more as a country.
He would invite passers-by who disagreed with him to champion his perspective and own them ethically.
So Steven Crowder obviously spends months and months. He usually shows up there with a binder where he's spent months and months and months and months and months preparing to debate a topic. And all the potential debates he's going to be up against. So like they might say this, they might say that, and how to counter those, right? And then he goes to a college unannounced with people who haven't prepped, and then he fucking owns the libs or whatever, right? Like I would have more respect for him if he would prepare for a debate and debate someone like they both got a chance to prepare. Like if he debated Destiny or Ben Shapiro, it doesn't matter. As long as there was like, this is the topic, it's a month from now, everybody get ready.
So when we talk about gender and sex, right, this is a very new idea. You said in Western society.
It's not a new idea.
Really?
No, it's not
So
a new
when did
idea.
gender theory start? When did gender and sex become separate?
Well,
I think grips are the guys who like do like the equipment and cameras and shit. Like they're like, so some of them will be cameraman or like microphone people on small productions, but they're like the equipment technicians that keep everything going. And a key grip is head of that department. So they called him a key grip on the set. That's a key grip. He's like the top one. And if it's like a feature length film, this is something weird you probably don't know about film. It's like if it's like a big movie set, the key grip has an assistant. Like the key grip's like the manager of the grips, and he has like an assistant manager. And that person is called the best boy. I'm not making this up. If you have a key grip on a feature length, like a huge production, his assistant, so he's the head of the grip department, which is like technicians for cameras and audio equipment and shit. He's the head of that, and his assistant is called the best boy. It can also be the best girl, BEST, best boy.
Actually, it's not necessarily the idea of gender theory. It's the idea that there have been different genders outside of man-woman for centuries.
A lot of folks would watch these videos for his well-researched, articulated responses to people he would be debating hotly with in public. He would watch them own them. That's what it was. He would be very prepared, and he would go out and he would argue with people who were just there, not really.
Like I've even seen him pull out his preparation binder when he's like there on set. Like if someone questions one of his facts when he says something like this percentage or that percentage or whatever, he's like, okay, well, after the debate, I don't want to cheat, but after we're done, I'll show you where I get these facts from. If someone asks him like, where are you sourcing that from? He's like, I don't want to cheat, get it out right now, but after the debate, it's only on a few of his episodes, but he'll have like literally like a binder like this thick of everything he studied for the last 6 months to come here and just own some college kids. Yeah, it's weird, right? Like, why doesn't he debate Destiny? Like, Destiny's one of the biggest debaters on the other side. Why does he just debate him?
Really that prepared. Like conservatoids.
He tried to debate Ethan Klein, and Ethan Klein is like, I'm not a debater. And this went on for like a few weeks. He's like, I don't do politics. Like Ethan Klein called him out, and then he's like, well, why don't we debate on it? And then Ethan's like, I don't do politics. Why don't you? That's the guy from H3H3. Why don't you debate, this guy or that guy or whoever, right? And Crowder's like, no, you're the one who said it. I want to debate you. And again, Ethan Klein is, some people would say not very smart, but he's definitely not a debater or a political guy. So Ethan Klein actually snuck in Sam Cedar, who is on the live stream they were doing. He is a political guy. He does debate. He's been trying to debate Crowder, so he brings Sam Cedar in for the debate, and then Crowder got mad and left.
Watched him, and a lot of leftoids watched him out of spite, in the hopes that someone would walk along and set him straight. And this is very similar logic to the Halo show and that Velma show. It's so, in spite of nobody actually liking what's going on, which, there was an entire watches. Sometimes it gets insane. Mobs of Antifa form and flood in, and it gets you like, oh God, run, Crowder, run!
No one wanted to sit down and talk, so we decided to take a little field trip.
Or it can be lighthearted and funny and goofy. He'll dress.
The United States is the best country in the world. You want to agree with that?
I disagree with it, yes.
Okay, so what examples of countries would you say are superior to the United States? I guess before we get to how much you dislike Trump, and I understand.
Korea, they've got
South Korea,
they've got an incredible standard of education.
Then it generally turns into blabbering and a lot of unproductive arguments and just rants. It's very frequent. But it's still entertaining. It's great content. Truly the fucking most entertaining shit on YouTube. If you can really separate yourself from the political stuff, which I do very well, it's just all the arguments, respectfully talk to one another and hold respect. Oh God, this gets fucking bad.
If you don't know, there's an anecdote. Hold on. There's a well-known example. I can't remember what it is. I think Crowder's really good at this. I wish I knew. I don't even know how to look this up. I'm new on Google. Sorry. Let's see. I bet somebody did a YouTube video on it. I think Crowder is very good at this, which is basically there's like a saying that you could take statistics and with the right spin on a set of statistics, you can basically make it say whatever you want, right? And I think he's pretty good at that. I think he's pretty good at like blurting out a statistic that technically is factually true, but not ever addressing the reasons why that's true or the subsets of things that make that true. He takes a statistic and basically uses that to prove his point when maybe it doesn't prove his point at all. Let me see. This is how easy it is to lie with statistics. I don't know. There's a well-known statistic. Oh, it's this guy. Is it this comedian? Hold on. There's a comedian that does it.
What else? Big data is how we live by big data. I love statistics, big data analytics, whatever. Here's the thing. When it comes to big data, there's a lot of bad data out there. Because statistics can be manipulated. To show you how you can manipulate statistics, these are actual true statistics. What's what I do with them? These are actual true. It turns out in China there's about 1.4 billion people in China. Right? 1.4. There are 7 billion people on Earth. Therefore, statistically, it cannot be argued 1 out of every 5 babies born on Earth are in fact Chinese. So you could say, statistically, if you got 4 kids, you're expecting a 5th, it will be Chinese.
There you go. So if you could say 1.4 billion people live on China, there's 7 billion people on Earth, 1 out of every 5 babies born on Earth. So you can you could technically use those statistics to back up a jump to if you already have 4 kids and you're expecting your 5th, statistically it should be Chinese.
So don't be surprised. That's all I'm saying. Don't be surprised. I don't have a problem with it. Your 5th kid's going to be Chinese. Just deal with it.
Makes sense.
So when you hear a statistic, always ask about the other side of a statistic. Look at it from a different perspective. 44% of marriages end in divorce. 44. Now, that's a scary number. That's scary. When you first get married, you're like, oh my God. But here's the thing. It's not so scary when you look at it from a different perspective. If 44% of marriages end in divorce, you know what that means? 56% of marriages end in death.
There you go. Would you rather it end in divorce or death?
Those are the 2 ways that marriages end, folks. Apparently, this is just occurring to some of the married people out there. Just enjoy.
I want to say this guy used to teach statistics or something, and he's a comedian now and uses statistics.
Being married because it's not pretty funny when it ends. Trust me. Perspective is important. Here's another one. 65% of Americans are overweight for their height. But maybe, just maybe, 65% of Americans are just not tall enough for their weight.
Right. If 65% of it, so you can manipulate statistics. If the statistics have to be presented in a pure form and not draw conclusions from them. Because technically, now this one doesn't work good because we know that this isn't true. But if the statistic was 65% of Americans are overweight for their height, Steven Crowder could make it, someone like Steven Crowder could make an argument that we don't have a problem in America with being overweight. It's that we have a problem that we're not getting the nutrients in vitro to be tall enough. Everybody's at the perfect weight. We're just not tall enough. So Americans need to be taller rather than Americans need to lose weight. That's kind of the point, I guess.
Dude. Recently, about last year, and since then, he's upset a lot of people in a lot of different ways, and he's really dug himself into the whole, like, just an understatement and emotionally abusing. An understatement. His wife, a pregnant version of his wife, not a unpregnant version.
Listen, I can't go to the gym. I can't go to my parents. I can't go to my friends. I can't be home. You're going to take on me. Look, just think of how boxed in you made me. What do you need to pick up? I'll get it. I'll be back in the back. No.
How boxed in your She's trying to go to the store, by the way.
To be clear, this ring video was recorded back in 2021 when his wife Hillary was pregnant with
under tall. That's right.
After their birth, and the video came out in 2023. The exchange takes place on their pool patio, and it's him sitting there smoking a cigar, being a man, all right, and he's just berating his wife Hillary.
Bill Gates wrote a book called How to Lie with Statistics. I know it's easy to take statistics, so you should look at the data. Whenever someone appeals to a statistic in a debate, you should go look at the data, look at the people that were polled, how many people were polled, how the question was presented to them. That can change a lot of outcomes. How the question is presented to them. You can present a question in different ways and invoke different answers. Yeah, you can do it in different ways and get different answers.
understand a single word of this as being rational or reasonable. How could you ever be this much of a fucking piece of shit? Everyone is such a piece of shit behind closed doors, it seems like. In the Ring video that was leaked, he's very manipulative, he's disgusting, he is an absolute asshole, terrible person. If I ever saw my father talking to my mother like this, I would honestly, I'd whoop his ass. I'm just being honest with you. This is, someone speaking to you like this has negative respect for you. Genuinely negative respect. So, politics aside, funny, change my mind, content aside, not gay Jared aside, this guy is a piece of shit, in my opinion. Based on this, hopefully he's changed, hopefully he's got...
I think I read an article about this, but they had an examples. Question wording is crucial element. So there's a whole study on how we word questions and what responses we get from them, and how polls actually work, and how good are they, how good are they not, how bad are they, I guess. It says question wording is a crucial element of reading and dissecting a poll. The wording of each question and the order they're asked in are extremely important factors in how respondents consider questions and seriously impact the results of a poll. One poll released earlier this week is a great example of such a case. In a poll conducted by Suffolk University and sponsored by USA Today, half of registered voters appear to agree that the Mueller investigation is a witch hunt, but there is way more to this result than meets the eye. The exact question was, quote, President Trump has called the Supreme's...
Merbird just resubscribed for 23 months.
Thank you for your subscription. President Trump has called the special counsel's investigation a, quote, witch hunt, and he's been subjected to more investigations than previous presidents because of politics. Do you agree? The results showed 50% of browsers say yes, while 47% of respondents said no, and 3% were undecided. The result is an outlier among other polls that asked similar questions and didn't find nearly as many respondents agreeing with Mueller's investigation is a witch hunt. It was a result that Trump immediately seized on. He tweeted the poll on Monday morning, touting its results as good for him and his case against the investigation. Wow, a Suffolk USA Today poll just out states 50% of, this is Trump's tweet, states 50% of Americans agree that Robert Mueller's investigation is a witch hunt. At MSNBC, very few think it is legit. We will soon find out, Trump said. The question presents one side of the argument, the president's side, but not the other. It is important that a poll questions are balanced to reflect both sides of the issue, or as neutral as possible. You can also do this with other questions. Like if you start throwing all these things about, let's say, immigration, because I talked about it earlier, about if you start throwing out all these questions about, you could say, did you know that an illegal immigrant killed a person just 3 days ago in this state? Did you know that this percentage of all violent crimes are committed by illegal immigrants? Did you know that, you could ask a bunch of questions like that. Typically, you won't see a poll like this, but I'm just making it extreme. Ask a bunch of questions like that, and then ask them how they feel about immigration. Like if you read a set of questions that obviously put all this in a bad light, then you ask somebody how they feel about it on a scale of 1 to 10. Obviously, you're going to get a bad outcome. So questions before it, not just this, how this question is worded, all the questions in a poll. It says the questions present one side, the president's side, but not the other. It's important to poll questions are balanced to reflect both sides of the issue or as neutral as possible. Here are a few things to keep in mind when reading a poll. Check the question wording and the order. Do the questions present both sides of the argument or seem neutral and without bias? Is there any messaging in prior questions that could influence respondents' mindset? Look at the methodology statement. How was the poll conducted? How many people did they talk to? Did they call them or solicit responses online? The actual conversation about the medium, phone, online, etc., in which you should conduct a poll is extremely long, way more than we can get into, but it is important to pay attention and understanding their relevance. Anytime a poll catches someone's attention and influences attention, let's say a poll came out, and let's just use Telegram. We did this the other day just to troll people. Sometimes we will grab other Telegram channels' polls and vote in them, post them in my Telegram and vote on them just to manipulate the answers. So if you have an influencer online with millions of followers and they're like, hey, go check out this new poll and tell them what you really think about Trump, you could really affect it either way if it's just a random poll online. So typically they don't do important polls like that, right? They're solicited, right? They call people. But even then you have to think, who are the people that they contact that would actually agree to take a poll? Because I usually don't. If anybody's like, oh, we have a questionnaire, we have a poll, I'm like, no, thanks, and hang up. So who are the people that agree to take that? This particular Suffolk USA Today poll was conducted well, surveying 1,000 registered voters over 5 days with live in-person interviews over the phone using both cell phone and landlines. But presenting both sides of the argument stops people from seeing just what the pollster is presenting and more accurately gauges their opinions. For example, CNN's recent polling doesn't find the same result as the Suffolk USA Today poll, but instead shows an increasing approval of Mueller. According to a CNN poll conducted by SSRS and released on Wednesday, his approval rating is now at 48%, with 37% disapproving of the job a former FBI director is doing. This is Robert Mueller's report. That's a shift from near even divides on the same question in February and December. That same CNN poll found 56% of Americans said the investigation in Russian efforts to influence the 2016 presidential election is a serious matter that should be fully investigated, while 38% said it's mainly an effort to discredit Donald Trump's presidency. I don't like when they ask two questions either, or they like two statements. Like Donald Trump says it's a witch hunt. Also, he's been prosecuted more than any other president. Do you agree with this? That's two different statements. A poll in early March asked a similar question. As you may know, Special Counsel Robert Mueller was appointed to oversee the criminal investigation into links or coordination between President Trump's campaign and the Russian government. Do you think that he is conducting a fair investigation in this matter or not? Over half, 54% of registered voters said they think Mueller is conducting a fair investigation. Only 27% said he was not. Almost a complete reversal from what the Suffolk poll found in the question that they worded. A CBS News poll in January asked whether the investigation and dealings between the Trump associates and Russia was justified, or is the investigation politically motivated? This one was slightly more split, but half of Americans said it was justified and 45% said it was politically motivated. Politically motivated is different from witch hunt, since Trump himself uses the phrase witch hunt in an attempt to discredit the investigation. It has become politically motivated rhetoric, something that when people hear it in a poll question, they associate it with President Trump. To people steeped in polling methodology, the fatal flaw in the Suffolk USA Today poll came in the question wording, while other polls showed hugely different results. Ken Winnig, managing director of the survey research at Annenberg Public Policy Center of the University of Pennsylvania, also took issue with the Suffolk USA Today poll, especially when it came to the response options. Quote, this is his quote from the managing director at the Annenberg Public Policy Center. It was biased towards agreeing with whatever statement the respondent heard. Survey questions using scales should be balanced always. In the USA Today Suffolk case, respondents were asked if they agree with the statement. They weren't provided the same stated opinion to disagree. Double-barreled wording issues aside, respondents should have been asked, do you agree or disagree? Without the balance, this bias is towards agreeing with the statement. David Paleologos, the director of the Suffolk University Political Research Center, stood by the way the question was phrased. He told CNN in an email that Suffolk has seen a decrease in trust in Mueller through its polling and an increase in those who believe Trump. As far as, this is his quote, as for the specific poll question, we thought it important to use President's name, his own words, a stated viewpoint on the Mueller investigation, and ask if respondents agree or disagreed. Like other questions in the poll related to the Mueller investigation, I believe the answers do indicate a shift in public opinion. Like any large, simple poll conducted over the phone with a live person asking questions, the Suffolk USA Today effort was both costly and informative, but it just might show exactly what the president hopes it does. Since we're entering the 2020 season in earnest, this is something to keep in mind as pollsters do their work and pundits dissect it. This is all from 2020. It was just the first one that came up. So the way you ask the question, the questions that are in it, presenting both sides can be manipulated, and so can the statistics that are coming from those, I guess. I don't answer my phone either. If for some reason you have my phone, most people have the show line number, which I just check once I get to the office. I do not carry it around with me. I don't want it around with me. But if you actually have my real phone number, don't call me. Don't call. Mariah gets so mad. Someone will call her, and she'll ignore the call because she don't like talking on the phone to people either. She'll ignore the call and then text them and be like, hey, can't talk right now. What's up? And they'll text her back like, call me when you get a chance. And it's never important. It's always something stupid. People know me better. You tell me, call me when you get a chance, you're not getting a call. Okay, you can either text me or it wasn't important enough.
Human being, like, God, if this is a window into your soul, wow, what a rotten fucking turd.
Then I will ask them.
So asking one of her friends to come pick her up, and he's like, "Is that a threat? How is a friend picking you up a threat? I don't even understand that."
Okay, Steven, I can't. Do you need some constraints? Like, I can't go. Like, listen, you want to walk out right now? Listen, I can't go to the gym.
Oh yeah, I don't. I just won't. I don't answer most of the time. My phone, unless I recognize the number. I don't answer most of the time. Like I said, most people have the I got 2 different lines that are. One of them is like an actual phone for the show, and then one of them is a Google number for the show. But that's what most people have, and I check that when I get a chance. I can check it through my phone if I really need to. Someone really needs to contact me or whatever. But typically, I just check it when I come into the office or when I'm checking my email on my phone or something like that. It's it goes through email. But if you call my main phone, you're not getting me unless I know the number.
Gaslights her and says she's not.
I'll answer like my sister's call, or a lot of times if I'm not busy and Mariah calls or whatever. But I would much rather do text.
Not performing her wifely duties, dude. What?
You were not taking the car. Not because you refused to do wifely.
I can't say anything. So, anyways, I do the same thing. I just texted my sister today and said, "Hey, I got a question for you. It's fine if you say no." Like I do the same thing. And then she's like, "Okay." And then I had to give her the question.
And it seems like it stems from her not doing what he wants exactly.
I tried to. I'm kind of slow, Michael.
Getting steak and pellets for his grill.
Steaks with pellets. My grill. How about you first?
And he'll have to do it if she won't do it. Guy's got a God complex, it seems like. His wife is very defeated in the video. It's like she's talking to a fucking brick wall. He's accusing her of being uncommitted and unloving while he is the guy doing that. All that horrible stuff. Obviously, there's stuff we don't see behind the scenes, which is important to see. But by God,
I want to get up to what his nudes.
But
I just want to see what his opinion on this is.
Whatnot. Obviously, they separate.
What did that just say?
Later on, after it ends, he says he's going to fuck her up.
I can't believe she is. She's pregnant and she's worried about if there's any interactions with this dog medication, that some type of ointment she has to rub on it. She's like, I don't want to do that. What about, she's pregnant. It could have interactions. There's a lot of shit you're not supposed to touch or have on your skin or be near or smell or taste or get in your eyes or your face when you're pregnant. Like, I don't know why he makes her put the ointment on the dog. That to me, that signals like a weird control thing. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. But it's saying it's like a weird control thing.
I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what it says. So
that's your job. You put the ointment on the dog. I'm not doing it even if you are pregnant and need to go to the store.
They're going through a divorce. Stephen finally acknowledged this fact that his wife and him were going through a divorce in 2023. He deflected all responsibility. He says he's had a boot on his neck going back all the way to 2021.
I have been living with a proverbial boot on my neck for going on years now.
A boot.
Since 2021, I've been living through what has increasingly been a horrendous divorce.
He describes the divorce as being horrendous and that it was not his choice and that it was his wife.
Since 2021, so like before she got pregnant? They were getting a divorce, then she got pregnant?
Choice. Yeah, man, I don't fucking blame her. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a girl. I've never been pregnant. I've never been married to a man. But this doesn't seem like a healthy, happy relationship.
I accidentally hit the FaceTime. I did that to somebody on Twitter the other day. Somebody was asking me a question about, I get a lot of questions of like people who already know me, like watch the show and stuff. But a lot of times I'll get questions about streaming or audio or setting up audio. And there was somebody that I had been going back and forth with about, like, I think it was their church audio or something like that. Anyways, I responded, stuck it in my pocket, went back to listen to my audiobook, and my audiobook stopped. And I looked down, and it had been video calling them for like 10 minutes. I'm like, oh, fuck. I started hanging up. Sorry, butt dial. Do not call back. Sorry, do not call back. I do not need to talk to you. Like, because I just knew they were going to call back and then be like, why the fuck is he answering? He called me first.
Relationship, bro. He does clarify and say that there was no infidelity and no physical abuse on either side. Phew, I was worried. Oh, because the way it was looking was pretty bad. No abuse in general. No, wait, just no physical abuse. I understand.
Well, let me say on the outset to be clear, there's no infidelity, any kind of physical abuse at all on either side.
Then, as if he rules over a fiefdom, he says that his wife simply didn't want to be married to him anymore and phrases the next part of that sentence as if he was forced.
Wait a second. I pocket dialed the show on Discord the other day at the gym after I made a guy whip his head around real quick when I was laughing so hard watching the replay of the slurred pussy. Poor guy had to move the treadmill to retrieve his AirPod. It was double funny, but I did apologize and tell him, sorry, I'm watching Cold Beer Confessional. Good job, me and you two. I don't even remember the slurred pussy, but I'm sure it was hilarious.
Into the divorce.
This was not my choice. My then wife decided that she didn't want to be married anymore. And in the state of Texas, that is completely permitted.
In the state of Texas, that is
in every state, that should be permitted. Don't you guys agree? In any state, if you're married, if one person wants to leave the marriage, like I understand some states are like, hey, we want you to take counseling first. I even understand that. I mean, like, I don't think it should be mandatory, but if that's your rule, yes. But when he says in the state, she wants to end the marriage, and in the state of Texas, that's completely legal. Like, he's mad about it. Shouldn't that be legal? What, you both have to agree to end the marriage? That's weird. Especially when we see why, like, some marriages end in abuse and shit.
Completely permitted, meaning a wife can divorce her husband in the state of Texas, and that's a bad thing? The lamenting of the fact that Texas permits her to divorce him resulted in a lot of comments, because that's a fucking crazy ass thing to emphasize and say. Does he feel like it should not be permitted? Should a woman not be able to file for divorce if her husband is a jerk because he doesn't want to let her go? She shouldn't be allowed? How is growing up in all that toxicity better for the kids? So here's clearly an unabashedly expression of belief that women shouldn't have autonomy over their personal marital decisions, while sitting there with his tough guy beard and a muscle shirt with a gun on his desk. Performative manhood of seeing women's rights, though, just in his...
I still love...
I do think he's very... I don't like how... I love people who support the Second Amendment. I like gun YouTube channels. I know YouTube's trying to basically ban them.
Way to just resubscribed for 4 months.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the resubscription. YouTube's trying everything that they can do to get rid of gun channels. I like guns. I like gun reviews. We own a bunch of guns that I lost in a boating accident. Please don't come shoot my dog. But I do think he's very performative about it and having it out on his desk or wearing his shoulder holsters and stuff. I do think YouTube, there's a concerted effort for YouTube to demonetize, to not make it worth gun content channels. Like they give out a bunch now. So they've always had a rule that you couldn't show anybody how to modify a firearm. For a while now they've had it. And they added that to include modifications to take higher capacity magazines. So basically, like, if you showed someone, if there was a modification, like, let's say you had a pistol that took 10 rounds and there's something like you can cut out or remove. This happens in shotguns a lot of times. So like in a pump shotgun, let's say it holds 4 and 1 in the chamber, but you can pull the plug out of the magazine, which is like the tube underneath. You can pull the plug out there and fit 2 more rounds. That's not allowed on YouTube. And a lot of people tried to follow that. But now if you show any AR-15 and you show the insertion of the standard 30-round magazine, you just take a magazine, put it in the gun, that's a violation of that rule now. That's crazy.
Marry her, and he still loves her. Of course, she's the mother of his children. She wanted something else in her life, and the law let her have it.
And she wanted something else for her life. That's not my choice. She simply wanted out, and the law says that that's how it works.
The next choice of words.
Yeah, that's fine. Like, I know it hurts. I know it would suck. But like if Mariah's like, I want something else in my life, I'm leaving you, whatever, we're getting a divorce, I would be upset. I'd be like, please don't, I don't want to do this. Like, can we work on something, blah, blah, blah. But I wouldn't be mad that the law allows it. I wouldn't be like, I think we should change the law to where a woman can only get a divorce from a man with a man's permission.
Is even better, and it's even more telling of his bitter attitude. I guess that's a great word to use, incredibly bitter. He claims responsibility. It's no one's fault but...
Here's a weird story about me. There's a game warden here that basically was corrupt as fuck. Everybody knew he was corrupt, but he didn't get busted until probably I was in my 30s. I was in my late 20s, maybe 30. He didn't get busted till then. But everybody knew he was corrupt and some of the corrupt things he did. And he got me one time for crossing a logging road with a firearm. Now, this road is not like a regular street that you would drive on. Like, I wouldn't even go on this road unless I had 4-wheel drive. Like, it is literally a logging road from years ago that's washed out, giant rocks, places you have to stop and drive up on the bank to get around it. It's not like a paved road. Anyways, he was sitting backed into an area with binoculars in a fucking, in like backed in where I couldn't see him in his green truck. I was hunting, and I had finished hunting that morning, and I was walking out, and I heard something on the other side of the road. I didn't know what it was, so I crossed the road, this like dirt road. It's not even gravel, it's dirt. I crossed this dirt road to the other side of the road, and he pulled up real quick, and I think I was 16 at the time, 17 at the time. He pulled up and said that I crossed a roadway with a loaded firearm. Now, when I saw him coming up, I pumped shells out into the ditch, okay? I pumped shells out into the ditch because I was like, I'm going to unload this motherfucker. I see here's somebody coming. I didn't get them all out. There was still one in the chamber. So he come up, pulled the firearm, took the firearm from me, Told me just to stand there for a second, open the chamber that was around it. And he said, that's what I thought. And those two, he saw them like in the ditch or like the bank or whatever. Those two were in there too, weren't they? And I was like, I didn't say anything. And so this should have been a citation. If you can even classify this road as a roadway, because again, it's not on a map. It's not a named road. It's a logging road. It's half of the year it's like gated off. But anyways, he wrote me a citation for it. Oh no, he told me he wasn't going to write me a citation. I can't remember what it was. It was something weird that he's like, I could charge you blah, 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 and pull your license, your hunting license or something like that. And again, I was young. I don't even know if the road qualified. But anyways, he told me that he was confiscating my shotgun. It was my papa's shotgun. He was confiscating my shotgun, and I could get it. I could retrieve it after I did something or paid a fine or something. Anyways, I was young. I might have even been younger than that. I might have been 14 or 15. I know I didn't drive. I rode there with somebody who was on down the road. Anyways, he confiscated my shotgun. Told me after I think I had to retake the hunter safety course. I had to retake the hunter safety course and pay a fine, maybe. Anyways, he confiscated the gun and took it. So when this all happened, he left. So I walked back out and I went to the guy I was with, his name was Dave, and told him what happened. He's like, "What? That don't sound right. That's crazy. Where's the ticket?" And I was like, I don't have one. And I don't remember if he wrote one and didn't give it to me, because I feel like I remember him writing on a pad. I don't know. It's been so long ago. But I was like, he didn't give me nothing. He's like, "Well, how are you going to pay it?" And I was like, "Yeah, that makes sense. How am I going to pay? How am I going to pay a ticket? How am I going to prove that this happened?" Anyways, so it turns out I call the office where he works. He never reported it. Well, I called like 2 or 3 times, and they're like, "Oh, well, sometimes they don't turn in their tickets, blah, 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 citations." I was like, "Well, I don't have one." They're like, "Oh, he probably, if you lost it, we'll get you a copy, blah, blah, blah." But after like a week, they're like, "We don't know what you're talking about. We don't know what you're talking about. We don't know what's going on. No citation, nothing." And it turns out like years later, he gets busted for basically stealing people's firearms. He was ransoming people, I guess. He was telling people like, "I could write you this ticket that's $300, but I'll let you off if you pay $100. No receipt, no ticket, no nothing." He was making his cash that way. He stole a bunch of firearms. A bunch of people ended up reporting him, but I didn't know the serial number stuff. My papa had passed away. He's who gave me the gun. Like, I didn't know anything. That's honestly when I started keeping all the serial numbers to every fucking gun I've ever owned. I got a list. I got 2 lists. One of them's in a fireproof safe. The other one is somewhere else. But it's got every firearm I've ever owned. If I sell it, I just write sold. But I've got every serial number to it. Well, anyways, he ended up basically stealing my shotgun. And the next time I ran into him was years later, and I even said something to him then. He just played dumb, which he may not have remembered it. He was scamming so many people. Who knows? Maybe he didn't remember it. Was the road maintained? I don't think so. I mean, like, no one goes up there with like people drive across. It's closed in the winter, because it's in like a mountainous area, and they don't want to do rescue calls up there or have people stuck and die. It's closed in the winter. It's open in the spring, but I've never seen like even a dozer or anything over there. I think the only way the road stays open is just because people drive it and kind of beat down the weeds and shit. We have different carry laws too here, but there's a rule in Tennessee, I don't know what the law is, or at least there used to be, that when you're hunting, you're not allowed to cross a public roadway with a loaded firearm. So I guess if you have to cross a public roadway, you're supposed to empty it, cross the roadway, load it back up. Let's say if you're hunting on the move or something, which we don't, it's so mountainous, we don't do a whole lot of that. But I do see the bear hunters. They drive all over the place, run across the road, up the mountain, through a creek, across the river, across another road and a bridge. I don't know. Anyways, he stole a gun from him. Later on, he got busted for like hundreds of people he had fucked over. Ended up getting probation, and then ended up becoming a cop. You believe that? He was a game warden. He got busted for doing all of this bullshit. He got probation. Had to pay some restitution to some people who could actually prove it. He got probation out of all that. Then he became a local cop, a deputy, sheriff's deputy. Isn't that fucked up? I don't know. I can't make it. I guess you can make it up, but I'm not.
It's not for him acting in an abusive way towards his pregnant wife.
Luckily, he's nowhere around me, but yeah, he's a deputy now.
Claiming responsibility that he chose the wrong wife.
Now, of course, look, I get it. There are multiple sides to every story. But
To be fair, he might be retired now. When he got busted and became a deputy, that was in my 20s, I would say late 20s, and he was probably 50 at the time. So he might have just done it for like the retirement or something to get time in. I don't know. Till his Social Security or retirement or something came in. But he's probably retired now. But it was a couple counties over, he became a sheriff's deputy.
that is undeniable. In this case, that's no one's fault but my own in that I picked wrong, and that's certainly not the fault of my children.
I really like that logic a lot. It smells like shit. Also in Stephen's video talking about the divorce, he emphasizes how private he wished all of this would be, but there were a few people with positions of power who knew what was going on behind the scenes, and that sort of led to things getting out.
It's the Jews. They've been broadcasting it from their space lasers.
One person was Candace.
For my audience and everybody, as you pay attention to the situation, not to...
Candace did call Stephen out for this and said that she had even more information about how horrible he treated his, I guess, still his current wife. They're not fully divorced yet. I think they're in proceedings for divorce.
him, but to pray for him.
And also, they knew all this stuff because at the same time he was going through this shit, he was also...
By the way Steven Crowder talks to his wife, just in that video right there, I have no issue with his wife's dad and talking about the lawyer saying, we're going to take him for everything he's got. We're going to make him look bad. He is bad. We want momentum. We want public opinion on our side. And we're gonna do everything we can do to get it. I have no issue with that.
Going through a battle between
especially if Steven Crowder's doing the same. It would be different if only one of them was online. But if Steven Crowder's going to do a smear campaign online, his wife should have access to do the exact same smear campaign on the other side, or nobody does it. One of the two.
Steven got into a feud with Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro. Was finishing up his time at the Blaze and was interested in having a conversation with us. So we reached out to his agent and we said, listen, we'd love to have conversations every day that a monster talent like Steven comes on the market. And this article headline spawned from it. All right, Blowhard calls $50 million daily wire for a sleeve contract. They're concerned about its feud.
He called his $50 million offer from the Daily Wire a slave contract. Could you imagine making $50 million? That was just where they wanted to start negotiations at. They wanted to start negotiations there. They knew they were going to have to offer more. They sent it over as just as a cover letter, basically, and said, this is where we'd be willing to start. And he immediately screenshots it, records a phone call and calls it a slave contract. By the way, I don't know where what that clip was of Ben Shapiro singing, but have you guys ever how do I say this? Have you guys ever seen Ben Shapiro's sister? She don't look like Ben. I don't know if she sings or not, but she don't look like Ben. I'll tell you that much. No, sir. She does not. She's definitely not Ben.
Yes, that offer did come from the Daily Wire. I'm not trying to hide that fact. I'm not ashamed of that fact.
No, she's pretty.
But I think there's a lot of...
Ben's weird looking.
The nature of the offer, the nature of the points, I think Stephen misunderstood a lot of the points. And so the way we do here at the Daily Wire is going to be incredibly transparent. How the fuck?
A control freak, I agree.
What the fuck? How is that even fucking possible?
Big tech is in bed with big con.
Big tech is in bed with big con. What is big con? Big conservative. The Republicans have started enabling everything big, and they're terrified of it. Big honey, big automobiles, big calendar corporation, big greeting card. Hallmark, I'm talking about you.
The people I thought were fighting for you, a lot of it has been.
Much money by just saying shit. How can you believe anything that people are getting paid $50 million a year to say it? What the fuck? God damn it. Money doesn't equal bad, but by God, who's paying you and what do they believe?
By the way, while we're talking about this, you know, I've always said, I know I'm not going to have probably the biggest audience in the world. Like, I'm probably not going to be like fucking PewDiePie or something like that with millions of views. That's right, legend. Even got your motor revving a little bit. By the way, before I move on to my next point about this, there was something that had to do with you today in Telegram. I don't think you're on Telegram, are you? Sunshine said, are we still pretending Legend has not harmed Austin in some way? Are we still pretending that you didn't murder Austin and that's where he went? Him and Moore and Ramesh and everybody else? Are we still, what's the cover story? What are we pretending right now? Anyways, I would like to know just so I can keep pretending too. I was going to say, I know I'll never be like gigantic or have like this huge following or blah, 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 whatever. I know that's not happening, right? But I would like to be bigger because that opens the doors to other things we can do, even giveaways and meetups and events. So I'm hoping maybe the new channel takes off some, maybe like the mechanical channel, because if you guys know who Cletus McFarland is, he's a YouTuber, and he has a channel where he does car content. They build race cars. They just do crazy stuff sometimes. But they do a lot of car content. He ended up getting his pilot's license. He bought a helicopter. He was just he bought a racetrack. Now, this is just a YouTuber, okay? And when he started, he was kind of broke. And I'm glad for his success story. But Jesus Christ, if I could get to a position where I could just do giveaways and shit and pay my moderators and editors.
Anonymous gifted Ms. Night Stalker a subscription. An anonymous user gifted a tier 1 sub to MSZ Night Stalker.
Thank you for the gifted sub. I appreciate it. That's for Yori. So Cletus McFarland has 3.5 million subscribers. He does an automobile YouTube type shit. He was able to buy a racetrack in Florida. And just this weekend, he sold tickets to a live stream called the Freedom 500, which was a race that he did. It's a oval track. He invited, I don't know, 40 other YouTubers down that do that type of content, and they all got to race in this. So basically, they had 40 Crown Vic, however many people were in it. They all had the same Crown Vics. Everybody was in a Crown Vic. Everybody at the racetrack, other YouTubers got to race. He bought a helicopter. He had AstroTurf installed. Like, clearly, with a few million subscribers, you can do quite a bit. I don't know if I'll ever get a few million, but I'd like to have a more to at least support, like editors, moderators, giveaways, have fun, and do shit like that. That's amazing that he's able to take his community and do shit like that. That's cool as shit. To have a fucking race. They also had a burnout contest where people could enter. You could come watch the race in person for like a $5 ticket. They do merch giveaways. So this truck right here, this Chevrolet that's in this first video, that's being given away on April the 15th, I think, in a couple days. Every $5 in merch is an entry into it. Like, that would be awesome to have that damn, to have that community, a community that size to where you can do those types of things. So that's what I'm striving to build, is a channel that is community driven and big enough to where we can do more within the community, do more to give back or giveaways and meetups and have fun stuff going on. Hopefully. We'll see. We'll see if we ever get there. Anyways, we'll start. Let me go to the end of this, then we'll stop talking about crowding.
That has a lot of control on which one's monetizing the Apple podcast. So this is just making clear that, yes, we're selling ads in his podcast.
Because he's covering everything.
Absolute dog water, dude. I know about that, all right? I'm an expert at that.
There he is, dressed up like a woman at the, what's the gym where you can't yell? Planet Fitness? No lunkers.
People that he's garnered over the last few years, from some genuinely good content and some just absolute dog water, dude. And I know about that, all right? I'm an expert at that. All right, this guy. There we go. I got him. I got him in a headlock. Jump.
Well, not everyone will be there. Okay.
There's a new lawsuit that alleges that Jared Monroe, not gay Jared, this guy was...
Oh, everyone loves Cletus.
Plotting to
He's got a pretty cool channel.
Jared left Loud with Crowder and was replaced by...
That's not really his name, by the way. I think that was just the most red... When he started making content, I think that was the most redneck whatever, because they would take cars and just fucking... Like I said, I want to do. Take a car and just throw the biggest fucking cheapest turbo they could find on it and blow it up. So he named himself Cletus McFarland, but that's not his real name.
Garrett, Quarter Black Garrett, as well. That's his name. Garrett would talk about wanting to leave Louder with Crowder, saying he wanted to leave drama-free, unlike those before him had done.
I wanted to get out of Louder with Crowder in a very, a nice way. You know, like I love that.
So Garrett left. Dave Landau left. Do you guys remember, what was the, was it Svenbot? The foreign exchange guy, that was like, they made him dress up like a Sven the computer. They made him dress up like a computer robot guy. You guys remember that? He left. Someone said that Crowder still owes him money. And when he bought it up, when the guy brought it up, that Steven Crowder didn't renew his fucking visa to stay and work. Got him deported or some shit. I don't know if that's true. There's been a lot of people that left Steven Crowder and none of them seem to be happy after they leave, ever. It was this guy. He was from Europe somewhere. Sven the computer. They made him dress up like this on the show. He was literally a computer named Sven. There you go. So that's not weird at all. Damn, Ben's looking good.
I love the guys there. I love the crew. I love the audience. The mug clubbers are great people. So I didn't want to leave in a way because I've seen it happen before in the same show where people would just disappear or it would be some kind of drama. And I'm like, I hate drama. Drama's boring to me. I don't want any of that. Jared wanted to leave so he could spend more time with his wife, girlfriend, and this was for the betterment of his future child, of which he was expecting. Makes sense. Perfectly reasonable.
There's a lovely missus in my life and a lovely lady, and I will be joined by another lovely lady in just a few short months. It's true. So, very excited.
Because of how time consuming his job was and how much time he dedicated to Crowder, he wanted to walk away, obviously, so he could fucking spend time with his family. Makes sense. Now, what actually happened was explained at length by Jared on his Twitter, which is not gay, I think.
I'm currently being legally abused and intimidated into silence by a former employer. This has been going on for a while now, and it's simply cannot live in darkness for another.
That's the video we watched.
For your help to fight back.
He talks about receiving a cease and desist and being threatened with a lawsuit. Oh shit! He states that the workplace was full of sexual misconduct, aggression, and he saw horrible things that had happened to him.
This place was and is to this day a workplace rife with sexual misconduct, degeneracy, and aggression.
He only signed an NDA at the request of Crowder, so he didn't have to sign a non-compete and could actually use his skill set to work elsewhere and make money elsewhere, because that's super common in this media world is non-competes and NDAs.
The primary reason I signed the NDA was for a small carve-out in the non-compete clause, which allowed me to freely seek employment using some of my skill sets at another specific company. That provision, however, was a lie. And upon starting my new job at new said company, I was getting another one of these, cease and desist. And
Abigail Shapiro. And there's another, there's a picture of her with a violin? Or some type of musical instrument. Where's that? Does that picture exist? Oh, Mommy Milker's Abigail. I think's what they may or may not call her. I'm not positive. Oh no, is it this one? Is it just her in front of? I thought for some reason I thought she was playing a violin or doing something. I guess not. Maybe she was just standing in front of a piano. It's the picture I already showed you, but it was zoomed out some. She was singing, I guess. I thought there was one of her playing an instrument. Mommy Milker Shapiro.
Unlawfully terminated from that position.
Literally, when you search Abigail Shapiro, one of the suggested terms is milk. One of the suggested terms is milk. Here's a little animation to it, in case you were still looking. In case you were still interested, somebody called it Khazarian milkers. No, we're not doing that. Okay, back to it.
Speech matters, and it is quite ironic because Crowder is a free speech absolutist, I think at least. So, but not really though, whenever it comes to his employees that he is allegedly wronged or whatever, I'm not fucking sure. Jared is going to do his best to fight back against the document, and he will use donations to dissolve the unconstitutional NDA. Also to just get his First Amendment rights back. It's so insane, man.
The second reason I'm asking for financial assistance, is to proactively address my unconstitutional anti-free speech NDA, which is the basis for all of their claims against me. The simplest resolution here would be for Mac's employer to release me from the NDA. Give me and my fellow Max employees the same free speech they publicly champion for every other American.
I don't foresee this going the way of Crowder. This has a lot of heat on Twitter. Okay, guys, 8 million. I implore and emphasize you all to check this out if you'd like. Candace Owens, as a response to this, said, wait till they find out what he's been doing to his wife. What does that even fucking mean, bro? It's crazy how much stuff is coming out. This is just mind-boggling. The 2016-2017 fun owning leftist.
Oh, so it was just the stuff that's already come out. I guess he was just covering the topic.
Jared and
so he was trying to come up with all these different ways to I want to do this other thing.
Then not get Jared. It seems like so far.
Let's see the Garrett part. I haven't seen this Garrett interview. I've seen Dave Landau. I've seen Not Gay Jared, obviously, in his stuff. Yeah, I haven't seen the Quarterback Garrett interview. Have you guys?
I want to do this other thing. And at first he really wanted me to stay. Like he was like, really, like, I don't want you to leave. So he was trying to come up with all these different ways to get me to stay. And I was like, I just don't want to do politics anymore. And I know that's not the show that you like you're obviously gonna keep doing politics.
There are two sides to every coin, and we have Jared, what he's saying, and we also have the lawsuit I mentioned, which is against Jared and his wife and Crowder's wife.
Oh my gosh.
This is really a confusing part, so try to bear with me here. This is not from the horse's mouth, but it is from the rider of the horse, Gerald Morgan Jr., a lawyer that they have on the Louder with Crowder show that is friends with Crowder, I think still works with him, and was friends with Not Gay Jared when he worked there. Oh yeah, and is also the CEO of the LWC network, which so he's pretty high up there, you can say. One of the first things that Jared
Okay.
This is that none of this needed to happen, and he means the call out from Jared that Louder Crowder, their work environment.
None of
I just want to
this.
say off the top that none of this had to happen. None of it. Didn't have to be this way at all. We didn't choose this. It was chosen for us. In fact, as I'll tell you in just a few minutes, we went to great lengths to give people the ability to do the right thing.
This is funny because of the Louder Crowder calling out of the whole Daily Wire thing and throwing Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro under the bus. I don't mind them getting thrown under the bus, to be honest. I like it when creators just start fighting each other, but that's bad. That's faulty logic.
I like it when creators just start fighting each other. That's me, bro. That's me, 100%. Fight to the death.
Everything
Cage
seen in the
match.
public eye has been part of a well-orchestrated plan. What is that plan? To assimilate damaging PR assets in which a negative publicity campaign against Stephen.
Gerald says that the 202 petition, which is a cease and desist kind of thing, sort of pre-litigation thing, it was filed as more of a, hey, knock it off.
Actually, it brings you in to testify. There's no limit. There's no time limit. There's no limit to the questions. It's more than a cease and desist, right? A cease and desist says, hey, knock it off, like he's describing here. When you're called in for a deposition with no time limit, no questions off the table, everything's open. What if they want to keep you there for 2 hours? What if they want to keep you there for 2 weeks and ask you every question in the world? That's a more than a cease and desist.
And tell us how far this has gone instead of a I will kill you and remove you from Earth. Then Gerald says the follow-up he's saying he got himself into some shit.
And we'll keep that 202 expired. March 26th, Jared releases his video.
So it's like he's trying to say that Jared was raising money for a lawsuit that didn't exist, but it's just trying to make him seem like he's manipulating people, I think. It seems like that's what he's trying to say, but now they're still suing him anyway, so it's like, what are you... fuck! By the way, Crowder's testimony, this person is not gay Jared. This is, as far as...
It would have been better if they would have not refiled the paperwork and said, hey, that fucking closed on the 26th. Why is he raising money for it?
I understand.
And just left it.
This Justice League website. Fucking Justice League? What the fuck? That shit's irrelevant. I'm no lawyer, but it seems like you guys intended to sue the guy, to be honest. He then goes on to say some conspiratorial shit. And Jared is actively involving himself in a private divorce, and that he was recruited to do so.
And now he's involving himself in a private divorce for which he was recruited to leverage the company as part of this long-standing plan. I'm going to say it over and over again to make sure you guys understand. We've been living with this for the last year and a half.
This is all in a plan to leverage the company by assimilating material which could be damaging to Steven's PR, the PR of Louder Crowder, or whatever. It's fucking wild, dude. He uses a lot of fancy words and shit, and he sounds like a papa, just sort of being mean to his son, shaming him like Crowder does with...
The plan is to assimilate damaging PR assets and
Papa,
wage a negative
this guy's
publicity
funny.
campaign against Stephen.
You guys go watch Oompaville. I've kind of stole his whole video here, but he's funny. That was funny.
The type of team I want. They understand right-wing media. They are familiar with who Stephen is and that world and the things that would destabilize him. Remember that word, destabilize.
Sounds like he's disappointed in his eldest son.
And expectations for the outcome of this divorce are reasonable and attainable. Not necessarily according to Texas family law precedent, but by
I got something funny coming up. Give me just a second.
that will significantly threaten this public persona and brand. That's from
2022.
Yes. This has been the plan from the beginning, guys. This is what we have been dealing with behind the scenes and not commenting on.
This says that they have sources to all this in the description, but you click on the link and it's just this. It's just like more their videos or whatever. I don't really know what's going on here. So many sources, just not the ones I'm looking for. Or shown an alleged text from Jared saying something along the lines of this. Actually, not along the lines. It's literally this. In a scenario where Hillary and I team up is the end of it. It does work anger. Watch real fear enters eyes when Tim asked the question. And Hillary wanted more money than she could get in court from Stephen from the divorce.
This was done specifically in order to get more than Hillary would get in court, or that Stephen even offered her, because his offers have been more generous than Hillary would ever get in court per Hillary.
It's pretty ironic though, because in the same response of them claiming that they're victims of a hit piece, they try to call.
Yeah, but it's obviously you're trying to make it out like all she wants is more money, but she didn't even say that. She said, "I know this is probably more money than I'll get in court, but I want more freedom on the dates," because he had a list of dates that he wanted the kids. I want more freedom on. So it's obviously not about getting more money. Or she would have said, I don't want this, right?
Hillary a liar.
And then she would have done whatever she's going to do.
Following the divorce, and then they show that she's making $25,000 a month from Stephen.
Hillary's getting $25,000 per month from Stephen. Per month. $300,000 a year in taxes held out of
But
it.
in the email that's highlighted, you can literally see that he tried to reduce the amount but was unsuccessful, and that between divorce attorneys, litigation attorneys, and taking care of the children, she's barely able to pay for all that. Not much information. I'm not sure how comfortable I am with going too much deeper into this. It's kind of fucking weird. You can see it's all just nonsensical, just crazy shit. It's wild to me that there's so much positive response to Crowder. He really does have a very unique, loyal fan base, which I have to respect that. People really like the grit sometimes. Some people don't. It's a weird thing. This is a crazy fucking story though, because this guy's like a staple of political YouTube, and none of these people can do anything. They can't run a business. They can't do what they're doing without just fucking stamping all over people and making a bunch of enemies. Why would you want to do any of this? What's wrong with you people? So that being said, do I think all of Crowder's points were bad? No. Even a broken clock is right twice a day or whatever. Do I think he's a dickhead? Young is.
All right.
Well, it depends on what she did to deserve that. Just kidding.
An extreme dickhead. All right, now I've got something for you. It's funny.
Shit now, probably not, to be honest. I think everyone who deserves to pay the price will eventually pay the price, and I think that this will happen. We'll see, guys.
Here we go. That is Oompaville. I'm going to drop his link again. I kind of jacked his video, even though we were talking about it. I just wanted to see what his views on the topic were, because I've never really seen him do anything in the political sphere. But go check out his candy at sourboys.gg and go subscribe to his channel. He's a pretty funny guy. He sounds like a sad papa, disappointed in his son. Go check out Oompaville. I've been watching him lately. He's covered a bunch of stuff that I thought was in it. Here's his normal content. So we go to videos, and it says, I know he did a bunch of Liver King stuff. I can't believe this hasn't been exposed. This is a huge deal. Worst content creator. She just doesn't stop. Sniper Wolf is an issue. She's like doxing people, showed up at people's house. Jack Doherty is suspicious. YouTuber abducted by a gang. That can't be real, can it? Hold on.
Conflict tourism is a burgeoning new genre of online content that I am really interested in.
Good morning, guys. From Kabul, Afghanistan. We are leaving the capital city and heading to the north.
Conflict tourism. If you don't know what conflict tourism is, you go to a part of the world where they're literally killing each other, and then you just kind of hang out.
The mountains of Afghanistan.
It's incredibly exciting. People basically go to areas where you shouldn't go to because it's so dangerous.
Visiting Yemen as a tourist is more dangerous than Afghanistan, Somalia, Libya, and Syria. Put it this way, I've never been more scared in my life to get kidnapped than my week-long journey across mainland Yemen.
And then they just kind of vlog it. Join me as we make our way now to Syria. That's like really simple. It's not really journalism necessarily. It's not like a journalist going to ground zero in the middle of a firefight or anything like that.
We are entering the Polisharki prison with the... When the group entered the Afghan capital, they came into the
Jesus
and freaked out
Christ.
of their fellow fighters.
There was one of these guys that became famous. What's his name? He has like a name that's like a royal title. Hold on. I know you guys know it as soon as I say it. He was on Ethan Ralph. Lord something. Is his name Lord something? Fuck. He was there during the U.S. troop pullout, and he was supposed to leave, but he didn't. He didn't, and instead he went running around talking about how base the Taliban was. Lord Miles. Lord Miles. He's 23-year-old danger tourist. YouTuber Lord Miles missing for months following Taliban capture. He's been on a bunch of shows since then. That's how he got his start.
Things actually should not be conflated at all. This is conflict tourism. It's a little bit different.
What's up, people? Another day here in Tijuana.
I want to see which one got abducted by a gang, and then we'll leave.
Of the pyramids or the Amazonian rainforest.
Promise.
Maybe even the Taj Mahal. Then there are those who tour the less beautiful aspects of human civilization.
Today, we gain access to one of 4 gangs that are constantly fighting for power in the Rio de Janeiro region. And they're showing us their entire operation.
And a lot of these guys are YouTubers, and those are conflict tourists. Okay, that's basically it.
I did see a documentary. Have you guys seen the documentary? It's on YouTube. I don't know if you've ever watched it. I'm just going to type in pirates documentary. It's like, here it is. Modern pirates menace on the Africa coast. Have you guys seen this? It's pretty insane. This is like a documentarian that goes there though, and he actually does documentaries, and he was actually requested by as some people in power to kind of get to the bottom of this. Here's a short from this. Check this out. These guys are wild.
I just want to talk to you. Come down, please.
Let me start it over.
What is your mission here, my friend? Talk to me before.
So basically, these guys are fighting all the oil platform people, Shell and ExxonMobil and all the oil platform people. They even abduct multiple workers a week and ransom them off or kill them.
I want to talk to you. Come down, please. You want to talk to me? How? I want to ask questions. Questions? Okay? Yes. Just few questions, okay? Oh, okay, come.
That machete was close.
That machete was close.
Okay, calm down now. Yeah. I just want to talk questions. Don't be scared. Don't be scared about me.
So they're drinking some type of alcohol laced with cocaine.
I just want to ask you a few questions. If you agree. Okay, come inside. Okay?
Oh, Johnny Smalley's in Israel? I heard that.
Inside, quick.
I heard he got arrested or some shit.
The pirates drink a cocktail of gin and cocaine.
Gin and cocaine.
They think the mix wards off bad spirits.
They're waving a leaf. They're dipping a leaf in cocaine and beating him with it to get the bad spirits off of him.
I got it.
This is intense. Especially if you're not making a documentary, you're just like a fucking live streamer who has no idea about what they're capable of, what you could be involved in, where you're at. You have no rescue plan. You have no backup. You have no sat phone. You're just wandering around till someone abducts you.
What is your mission? Yeah.
That's fucked up. Let's see which one got abducted here.
And also, most likely,
was it this guy?
Plays and it's an underground black market where you buy gun, weapons, everything, all show photos on screen.
That's just kind of funny though to say that, and lie. It's a real thing though, by the way. These fellas are insane. They go live with the cartel.
For the next 100 hours, I will be living with the most dangerous cartel in the entire world.
Oh my God.
The only thing the world knows about these guys is that they're some of the most ruthless killers.
I have seen a guy that goes around and talks to like different gangs from different cities, but he comes in like with like respect and stuff, and these are like gangs in like America, and he's like, hey, I just want to show like how you live, why you do it, what's your background, how you grew up. he actually shows the history of like why the gangs were started and why they're in this area. I've seen that guy, but this is crazy.
That exists. They go to the most dangerous cities or parts of large cities that are known for crime rates.
Next week to go to is Capito, or colloquially at the Patio Bravo.
The main guy documenting never.
Which one got arrested? Hold on.
Being kidnapped is.
You can see behind me, this building was bombed less than 24 hours ago, yesterday afternoon.
The main guy who we talking about today because he's been in the news for recently being kidnapped is your fellow Arab. He went to the cartel and hung out.
Your fellow Arab got abducted by the cartel?
Documenting a never before heard story. Over the next 5 days, I dance with death as we climb the ranks of the cartel. In part 1, 2, and 3, and amongst many more,
You knew about this? There we go. Grandma Gamer back here. She knows everything before I know it.
The cartel. That's awesome, man. I love that. That's great. We survived the first 4 days. They'll allow me to interview one of the world's deadliest hitmen. A cartel safari hidden deep in the jungles of Michoacan, one of Mexico's deadliest.
Who's banned from the country for? Oh, Johnny Somali. Okay. I got what you're saying now.
YouTube, like this guy inside Barcelona's dangerous tourist zone, 300 robberies.
I heard he got into some trouble.
Walking Ukraine's destroyed streets and war beyond words. Seems kind of weird to me. Like this, the Ukraine thing seems kind of bizarre, but I don't know. Once again, there's a massive difference between YouTubers going to war-torn areas to vlog.
Look at this building. Yeah, a beautiful historical building here. It's torn to shreds.
I think Johnny Somali was actually banned from Kick. He can't even stream there anymore.
And people who are reporting on conflicts.
This is a missile attack on Palestine Tower, right in the middle of Gaza City.
Jeez, I can't believe that guy got disappeared. All right, here we go. Here's something. So Intel Lady, friend of the show, you guys know Intel Lady. Make sure you go subscribe to her channel. She made that wonderful video for us yesterday that we watched. It was amazing. So let's check this out. This is Intel Lady. She was actually invited. What is the thing called? Comcast. She went last year and we watched it. I haven't had a chance to watch this because I've been so busy this week. But she went this year. So this is actually, not only is she doing in a live event, but the audience is not the most receptive audience in the world. So last year she went there, and M. Seeker was invited as well. Last year she went there and did her routine. Now, you know she makes fun of, like, the Q-tards and conspiracy theorists and stuff. A lot of these people are those people, right? A lot of these people are those people. From the conspiracy theory, David Icke believers, QAnon believers. So she's kind of making fun of them in their right in their face, which is hilarious to me. Let's check it out. She's brilliant. She's if you're going to subscribe to somebody, subscribe to her. She's a much better entertainer than I am. So please go check her out. YouTube.com/@IntelLady. One word. YouTube.com/@IntelLady. She's amazing.
Oh, hi, So, my mate Janae, she done a course called How to Meet Your Twin Flame for $333. She didn't meet a twin flame, so she done another course called Why You Haven't Yet Met Your Twin Flame for $222. And then she done a top-up course. He'll be here any day now for $111. Anyway, she's still not met him, but I met mine, so as far as I'm concerned, it was money well spent. So I say I met him, he already knew me because he was subscribed to my OF, and then he tracked me down on Tinder. And yeah, I know I've said that I am targeted, but I am also very intuitive, so I didn't think it was creepy. I just thought it was.
By the way, I didn't say this because I thought you guys would know, or I guess I knew and just accepted it. This is her targeted individual, her targeted individual character. So if you guys know about T.I.'s targeted individual, remember I joined the community and told them that Mariah was a CIA asset, and they were sending me videos of different cars that were following them because they were on the interstate doing below the speed limit. Whatever. That's it. And she is playing targeted individual, so she is targeted.
It's romantic. So we started seeing each other, and then I had what can only be described as a prosthetic dream, where Archangel Michael came. Now, I communicate with angels as well. Archangel Michael came and he told me that I was going to have a magical, powerful baby. Well, he didn't say it like, he said it in like in a biblical way. So he said like, unto you will be born a powerful baby and with great great power comes great responsibility or something like that. I can't remember. But so I thought, do I want another baby? And then I thought, well, the other 4 ain't magical, so maybe I'll give it another go. So I ain't getting any younger, so I thought, right, I've got to make this happen quicker. So I need to go somewhere spiritual to make this baby. And I really wanted to go to that Go Backy Tappy place, but I was still on tag, so I couldn't leave the country. So I had to think of somewhere in the UK that was spiritual, and I thought, Stonehenge. I'm going to go Stonehenge. So I told him, I said, we're going to go Stonehenge, and he went, what is that, like a rock club or something? I went, well, something like that. But as you all know, because Stonehenge is a very spiritual place, it is heavily guarded by the deep state, okay? They've got guards everywhere because the real energy is actually underneath Stonehenge. There's no energy around the stones. There's like a secret tunnel that goes underneath.
Of course there is.
There's like all this Tesla energy and shit. And it comes up, and that's what the deep state are trying to protect. That's why they don't allow you to go in the inner circle. So I knew I had to get in the inner circle in order to conceive my magical baby. So I had to think up a plan. So I picked my most hyperactive child, and I said, right, we're going on a trip. I need you to do me a favour. And he said, what do you need? And I said, I need you to create a distraction to get these deep state guards off my back. He said, what shall I do? I said, just do what you do at school that upsets them, makes them call the police. I don't know what. I said, just misgender them, that'll do it. So off we went. I gave him a couple of bags of Haribo, and he done what he needed to do. He's very astute for a 7-year-old. I think he's brilliant. So they was running after him. We snuck in to the inner circle.
I don't like the guys talking. I wish they would have had like a dedicated mic and shut these guys up that are just walking around talking.
So it was a wonderful.
Oh, I missed it.
Was running after him. We snuck in to the inner circle, and then I let him sneak into mine. So it was a wonderful, beautiful moment, and
Then I let him sneak into mine.
really felt that we had conceived our magical baby. And sure enough, I'd done a test a few weeks later, and I told him I was having a baby. And he says, I thought you was on the pill. And I went, well, God moves in mysterious ways, so there you go. So that was it. I had to go and have my first appointment down the hospital with the midwife. And I told her straight, I said, I'm having a magical baby. And she said, everyone says that, love. And I said, no, this is an actual magical baby. It was conceived in Stonehenge with all the energy.
Right.
And she just left the room, and then she come back full of lectures. I didn't like her attitude. I really didn't. Don't eat this. Don't drink that. Put that cigarette out. I'd had enough. So I just felt like I needed to come away and rethink it. So I went to my mate Janae, because she does like readings and shit. And I said, I've got a bad feeling about this hospital. And I don't like the midwife. And she said, I'll do reading for you. And she said, oh my days. This is a deep state plot. And I went, what? And she went, yeah, they want to take your baby.
Oh no.
And replace it with a clone because they need the baby with the magical energy. And I went, that is just the sort of shit what happens to me. Just typical.
What happens to me?
So I knew that I could
wish I could do
not
accents.
have my baby down the hospital. That was it. It weren't happening. So I was going to have an home birth. I was going to get a paddling pool, fill it with pink Himalayan salt, and it was going to be a beautiful thing. But I did want to see the baby, so I thought, well, I ain't going down the hospital for a scan. So I had to pay for a private one. So I crowd surfed, so I got enough money, and I had one of them 5D scans. I don't know if you ladies have ever had one of them, but it's a bit like looking at a child what's pressed its face up against a patio door. Sort of looks a bit like E.T.
The 3D ultrasound, those are pretty good. Yeah, my fake accent's the only one I can do. It's weird. It's like I was born with it.
Well, it is magical, isn't it? It's a druid, isn't it? It's a druid baby, so it would look like that. And we got the due date. Of course, no surprise, he was due on the winter solstice. Of course. So I got a name picked out. I was going to call it Solstice, or winter solstice, depending. Well, the solstice came. I sat in my paddling pool in my living room, and nothing happened. Solstice went, so I had to rethink the names. I thought, okay, if he's born on Christmas, I'm going to call him Jesus, because you don't hear that name a lot here, and he's magical, so it'll work. Well, Christmas Day came, Christmas Day went. No, baby. I had a reserved name if he come on Boxing Day. I was going to call him Tyson. But then... No, he just come on a nondescript day, so I just called him Jaden in the end. And no magic yet, nothing yet. But it's early days. It's early days. So I went out to sell.
This is a very good job doing this. Not only just getting up there and doing stand-up, but doing it in what could very easily become a hostile crowd. I think the one that she was it last year? She was doing it in front of people that were like actually legit, like worked with David Icke and stuff were there when her and him were there. I don't know as many details about this one. But yeah, she can't go too far because they could turn hostile pretty quick. But she said most people laughed along last year because I asked her about it.
When you have a baby, I went out to celebrate, and I went down the cash point.
Better than Amy
This is where
Schumer.
the deep state come back in again. So they couldn't take my baby because I had him at home. I went to the cash point to find out that the bank had closed my bank account down, just like they'd done with that Nigel Fromage. Same thing. There's after him, and they're after me as well. So I had to call one of my kids' dads. Said, you're going to have to lend me money because I got nothing. And he said, look, you know, the deep state ain't after you. And I said, yes, they are. They've shut my bank account down. And he went, no, it's because you had your OnlyFans and you was claiming benefits at the same time. That's why they shut you down. I said, no, it's not.
Okay.
I'm a sovereign citizen. I know my rights, and I know that you're allowed to do those two things at once. So don't go there. So that was it for me. I've got no bank account now. Everything I do has got to be cash. So I'm here this weekend because there's something else that I can do, and you may have heard of it. I do remote viewing.
Oh no.
Remote viewing, it's a real thing. It was something that the CIA taught super soldiers to do so they could spy on the Russians. And they made a movie about it called Men What Stare at Goats. And they trained George Clooney so he could like run through walls and shit and open up filing cabinets and look at Russian stuff. So I can do that. I can remote view your life. I charge 20 quid so I can remote view your life. I've also written a book which I'm selling here this weekend. I say book, it's more like a pamphlet really. It's called Everything What You See on the News is a PSYOP, and it's just a list of all the things that you think is normal news but it ain't. In particular, man rescues dog from canal, one of the biggest PSYOPs there is. So I'm here all weekend. Tap me up on By the Bar, vodka coke, or 20 quid to remote view your life. Thank you so much. Have a good weekend.
I'm glad she had fun. Intel lady, I've talked to her in detail. I can't remember, was she on my show or did I go hang out with her? We were somewhere. But she was like a legit actress, right? She had whatever credentials. She was been in a couple different things. She was in some type of big movie about, I think it was about the Titanic, where she had a major part. Now, it ended up getting cut out and made into a minor part when they edited it. Because if you don't know, movies are usually like 10, 12, 20 hours of footage, but they got to get them down to, a decent runtime, 2 or 3 hours. She's been in a couple commercials and stuff. Now, I thought she originally made the original cleaning lady account from the first Grift Busters little skit we had. But I thought for the longest time, I thought that was her until she finally was like, that's not me. But anyway, she is a trained actress, and she's been in a couple things. And then when she had kids, she kind of quit doing that. But she's really good. You guys should go follow her. Make sure you're following her over on YouTube. And while we're at it, we'll go check this out while we're talking about her. We'll go over here and go to her TikTok as well. Got to get a TikTok account. I'm gonna be there as well. So where she plays, like, here's Carrie Cassidy. I know you know who she is. The most negative broadcaster in the world. She does a really, really good Carrie Cassidy. It says Conspiracy Carrie. She always gives them a slightly different name, and I think that's to protect her a little bit or whatever. But Conspiracy Carrie explains the real meaning of the eclipse. Now, if you don't know who Carrie Cassidy is, she has this stupid monotone. She always acts like she's mad as hell at whoever's listening to her, and she doesn't even have time to fucking talk to you about it. It's so weird how she acts like she's better than everybody. Even her guests she has on, it's like she's mean to them in a monotone, depressing way. Anyways, here you go.
Okay, all right, hello. So I've just gotten off the phone from Captain Mark Richards, incarcerated for a crime that didn't come out. And he told me that during...
Captain Mark Richards, incarcerated for a crime that he didn't commit. That's what she always says. Mark Phillips. Mark Richards?
Told me that during the eclipse, the Galactic Federation beamed him out of his cell into one of their ships and took him up right to the eclipse to see it with his own eyes. And while he was up there, he also witnessed NASA launching their 3 rockets in their special ritual that they were doing in conjunction with the Anunnaki. And it is to bring in a dark energy so that everybody votes for Biden. And this is why they're doing it. They made the eclipse happen in an election year. That was confirmed by Captain Mark Richards, incarcerated for a crime he didn't commit, and confirmed also by Juan 07. So I know it's horrible. Okay, all right, hello. I've just gotten off the phone.
Juan 07. She even does a Phil.
Hi there, it's everyone's favorite judgmental cyclist, Jezza Vine here, and I'm here to tell you all about my new show. Now, you usually see me cycling around London, tutting, huffing, and whoaing at drivers and correcting them on their terrible decision-making on the roads. And that has given me an incredible idea. You've also seen my show on Channel 5 and also listened and loved and enjoyed my radio shows over the years. So I'm going to bring you a brand new show called Jazzavine Policing the World. I'm going to be cycling to your homes, and I'm going to be entering with my cycle horn and telling you exactly where you're going wrong. Are you putting the milk in before the tea? Whoa! Stop right there. Can't have that. Jazzavine Policing the World. Coming soon to the BBC.
I don't know who Jazzavine is, but that's still funny. Apparently he's a bicyclist that calls out people's bad driving. Right. Marjorie from So this is a Just Stop Oil protester. She has a lot of characters she plays. Now, a lot of people think that she's actually these people, and she gets in arguments with them. When she did Triggered Twitter Employee Gets Fired by Elon Musk, like, she had a whole fucking fight in the comments. They really thought that it was her.
Killing the planet, polluting it with oil, killing the animals.
She's throwing puzzle pieces.
Represents an animal dying due to oil. We will not take this any longer. I'm now going to glue myself.
Her husband's American, yes.
So it cannot move.
She's going to glue herself to the car so it can't move. Just stop oil.
I'm bringing out the big guns now.
The glue. The big guns.
We shall not be moved.
It's just her. She's very good at what she does. Yes.
This is Marjorie with Just Stop Oil. Today, I am in Derby. I'm currently waiting for Gerald and Judy.
Right here, somebody. It says, get back on your bike, you lefty. And she says, I shall not be moved. I'm telling you, people really believe it's her.
We're going to be going to the motorway to cause a ruckus. I'm armed with a puzzle. It's an animal puzzle, and it's to show that all the animals are going to die if we don't do something about the planet. I have also glued myself in front of a car earlier. I didn't go very well because I realised I needed to use the lavatory. But we got back on it.
Glued herself in front of a car, then immediately had to use the restroom.
But right now, until Gerald and Judith get here, we can't get ourselves to the motorway. So I'm just going to fling this about a bit.
Stay strong, comrade.
Reinforcements arrive. This is Marjorie with Just Stop Oil. This is
Okay, so today myself and my brave and beautiful friend...
So this is the same one. I think this is their same Twitter employee. Leftist Twitter employee gets fired by Elon Musk. It says, brave protester confronts Texas National Guard. Then someone says, so we can't protect our borders from illegal immigrants who do nothing but drag the country down? You're an actual smooth brain. This is from an account named Nuts for FFR33. Nuts for fucking real 33. And she responds, what aren't you understanding about this channel? She usually plays along. I don't care what anyone says. You do look like you just stepped out of a flying saucer. You identify as a all wired up wrong China man. And she says, actually, I identify as an activist. Intel lady's so good. Here we go.
Okay, so today myself...
I love when they think it's real.
...beautiful friend Luna are making our way...
You could probably tell that when I made the fucking Super Bowl photo of me and Phil. And everybody shared it around as if it was real. My head was twice as big as it normally is. And I just found some fat guy wearing a jersey and cropped myself onto it. Nothing looks real about it.
Down to Eagle Pass, Texas, to protest at the border against the disgusting, fascist Texas National Guard, all paid for and encouraged by typical Republican Trump supporters, stopping those brave and beautiful migrants from coming through by putting up the most evil wire fencing. How can they do that? People are hurting their fingers just trying to get through. So we have made posters that say, no more pricks, because we don't want anyone hurting themselves trying to break through to their freedom. This is just so typical of those fascist Republicans. I'm so sick of the fascism.
Now, people think that's real and argue with her.
This is Superintendent Leanne Smithson from the Metropolitan Word Police. I'm now going to be reading a brief...
Someone in the comments says, what's next? We won't be able to speak English in our own fucking country? She says, we're working on that right now. Lore says, this is so woke. She says, here at Metropolitan Word Police, we celebrate woke culture and the joy it brings to humankind. We watched the video footage, lady. Go back. Check your facts. Kiss, kiss, China. She put a facepalm emote. Then he says, I stopped listening at the words aggressive pianist. And she did another face palm. Don't mention nothing about the Chinese spy that was there. That's why they didn't want it to be a photo. I rest my case. 3 face palms. In England land, you can locked or lumped the action against China communists. So go ahead and do one, Leanne. Why say Metropolitan Police when it wasn't? It should be British Transport Police. If you're going to try and be funny, at least get your facts correct. Here's a fact. I actually clearly stated Metropolitan Word Police, which is entirely fictional. Hope this helps you somehow. Fucking idiots. He was ECUSed, E-C-U-S-E-D, ECUSed. He was ECUSed of touching her by the Chinese man and being filmed. Not the case, my love. Free speech. Go make some cakes, darling. She says, read my bio, darling. You took this seriously, question mark? He touched a Chinese flag she was waving. This is a spoof, isn't it? Great job. Thank you. Brilliant. Why not? It's just conversation. Is this a wind up? I don't understand how many people are fooled by her. It's crazy.
This is Superintendent Leanne Smithson from the Metropolitan Word Police. I'm now going to be reading a brief statement.
It's even in all caps. It says Word Police. Like a grammar Nazi. Word Police.
This week, our officers were called to an incident at St Pancras Station, wherein a group of very kind, very reasonable and entirely friendly Chinese people were deeply upset by the words of an aggressive pianist. Officers were very concerned to hear that the pianist had the audacity to ask the group of people which country they were from. Here at the Metropolitan Word Police Hurty Feelings Department, we do not accept anybody asking anybody else what country they are from due to people's feelings potentially being hurt. Officers intervened and had a few solid words with the said pianist and asked him to please be very mindful of how he words things.
Please be mindful. I would appreciate that.
The Chinese group were then satisfied that he had been spoken to and happily went along their way. But they were concerned that being asked what country they were from was deeply unacceptable and potentially could cause an international incident. Here at the Metropolitan Word Police, we do not condone the hurting of other people's feelings. We have concluded that that is what took place, and the gentleman has been dealt with accordingly. Thank you very much.
So basically, they're blaming the. You guys know what she's talking about. Basically, they're blaming the pianist from YouTube. Hold on, I'll grab it in just a second. Let me tell Ollie bye. Love you, buddy. Have a good night. No Bubba tonight, just Ollie. You want to tell everybody hi?
Hi.
Tell them good night. You got to go home.
I'm going home.
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Bye, guys. Wave
Bye.
at the camera. See the camera? Wave. Right here. The camera's right here. Look right here. Look at my finger. See the camera beside the light? Yeah. There you go. Good job. Love you. Bye. Yeah, I don't. Here's what they're talking about. Mariah was here doing some laundry, but they're about to leave. Here's the video. He's a pretty good pianist. People are saying, good night, Ollie. Hi, Ollie. Ollie, Oxenfree. He likes when I call him Alderman. Ollie Wally Alderman. Don't you, Ollie? That's his real name. He hates when I give him nicknames. All right, we're going to see the... it says, clash between pianists, Chinese communists, and UK goes viral. I think he literally asked him, which country are you from? Which hurts them somehow. That's pretty good.
for Chinese.
Here we go.
Yeah, no, can the Chinese Jeffries have a go?
Oh yeah, of course we got the Chinese here.
Do you want me to? I will see because we're here film for Chinese TV as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, did you film us, all of us, in your cameras?
I don't know. Are we allowed?
No.
We're not allowed.
Yeah. So
we're not allowed.
You're not allowed because we're for Chinese TV.
Oh, okay.
This is non-disclosable.
So they're not allowed to be on his camera. So I guess they walked by and were on the camera. So she's saying, we want to know, did you record all of us on your camera? Are you part of the news or something? We're not allowed to be on your camera.
Do you want me to? I will see because we're here film for Chinese TV as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, did you film us, all of us, in your cameras?
I don't know. Are we allowed?
No.
We're not allowed.
Yeah. So
we're not allowed.
You're not allowed because we're for Chinese TV.
Oh, okay.
This is non-disclosable.
It's not disco.
Yeah, not disclosable.
It's no disco.
It's not disclosable.
It's not disclosable.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Not disclosable.
Okay. So did you film the part that
So we'll get in trouble with the Chinese government.
Maybe not. I don't know. But he said you're from Japanese.
No, they'll put you in prison, mate.
So just say that according to the Chinese law, we're not allowed to film you. Is that right?
So basically, we will much appreciate it when you are, whatever you're doing, that you don't put our face on TV.
Yes.
Okay, so what will happen if
just don't do it, please. I will really appreciate that.
Okay.
We just very sensitive about this issue. I'm really
They're making threats,
we
and
love
he's saying
them.
what will happen if I
We want to
don't.
stay here for a lot longer.
I mean, the only thing is, it's just like there's other people filming as well.
And that's absolutely fine. That's the other people's business. They can make their own decisions.
So,
that's absolutely
so
fine.
how come Sarah? It's the only issue
It's
I've
just
got.
not us, please. Just not us.
No, but what I'm saying is there's other people filming you as well.
Oh no! It's just make sure that we are very, very secure in the reason that we don't want our voice or picture being filmed, and then that's just the relationship between you and me.
So basically, they're in public, just like the U.S. I know that some of their laws aren't just as strong, but they're in the public, just like in the U.S. They're basically fair game, right? They're in public.
What relationship?
Just now, we are very. So I'm gonna repeat that. Yeah. All of us, we cannot share our images online.
Right.
Yeah, there's no reason. That's our choice. That's our right.
Oh, so it's not a legal thing.
It is a legal thing because this is our right. We're protecting, and we don't want our voice or images to be revealed online. I'm really appreciating it. This is not your fault, obviously, and this is not our fault, obviously. That we have our own agreement with other people that we cannot be shown online. Okay. Yeah, so sorry.
They can't be shown online.
Just making sure you're not recording us, yeah? Because if you are recording us,
probably, but that's their problem. Like just because they live in a communist country where they get in trouble, who gives a fuck? Like you walked in front of my camera.
we are saying this, we're still recording, and then we will put a legal action into it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we will put a legal action into it.
For what?
We will. I'm sorry, this is the end of the conversation. This is our right we're protecting, and that's it.
But what right? I don't understand.
Image right.
Image right?
Yeah, we're not sharing this image right.
Are you from China?
That's not a question. The only thing we are arguing is that we are protecting our own image right. You're not sharing.
But we're in public.
Yeah, exactly. No sharing.
So we're not allowed to share?
No sharing. Yes, no sharing.
Yes, exactly.
Yourself, that's fine. No sharing us.
Okay.
No sharing.
Please share me.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. So
and if one day,
the thing is, we're in
I'm really sorry, we're on a schedule here.
So me too, but we're in a free.
Now suddenly they got to go.
We're in communist China now, you know.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is racist now.
No, we're not in communist China.
Now it's racist. This is racist now. Got it.
We're in a free country, mate. We can film where we want. You can call the police if you want. I'll be quite happy.
You can get fucked.
Listen, we're all free here, mate.
This is free, but we don't want.
When you're in Rome, you do as the Romans do. Sorry.
You're Roman?
Yeah, it's a saying.
Sorry. We don't want to do it. Yeah, sorry.
You don't want to do what?
Yeah,
to share our image.
To share our image.
Well, then you've got to walk away then. Because it's a public space.
Yeah, definitely. So I tell you, I just tell my choice. Yeah, we don't.
If you live in a country, if you personally don't like this, or you live in a country where you'll be punished for this, if they see that you're online, that you're on something else, right? And China basically owns your image. Avoid the cameras or fucking move, one of the two, right? It's not my responsibility if I'm recording in public to somehow cut you out or not catch you as you walk by. I think there is a difference between, even though it's allowed, an asshole following you around with a camera, recording you, even though you've made it clear you don't want to be recorded, right? Versus somebody that's just recording and you walked into their frame. Like, you can get fucked. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry you live in communist China. I don't know what to tell you.
Our image.
Okay, well, you gotta walk away then.
So, yeah. Then, but we want.
He's told her multiple times, just walk the fuck away.
Yeah, it's a public one. But we can use it as well, yeah.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
That's what Intel lady was talking about. The very aggressive pianist who asked them what country they're from. And we've taken care of him and his words.
Okay, it's a free country.
That's
anyone
but
can
we have image right.
Not in public. In China, but we're not in China.
No, I have my choice. I don't want my.
I have image rights, she says.
I say I'm also British. I'm also British, okay? I'm also British. But I don't want to use my image.
Now, him saying we're not in China is not. I don't think he's being racist in the least. That's how they control your image, your social credit score, all that shit in China. He's saying this law doesn't. We're in England. That law doesn't apply here. Sorry, you're in public. Again, I have a real issue with people being fucking Karens about this shit. And again, I'm usually against, even though it's legal, I'm usually against the person that says, hey, I don't want to be recorded. So someone chases them and records everything. Oh, why don't you want to be recorded? Why don't you want to be following them around and shit if they're trying to leave? But if you're going to come up to him and tell him he can't record you, this could have all been, no one would have even seen you if you just walked by and kept going.
Chinese flag.
It doesn't matter.
Show me the Chinese flag.
Why you're touching her? Stop touching her! Don't touch her, please. Do not touch her, please.
You've got a Chinese flag there.
It doesn't matter.
Show me the Chinese flag.
Why you're touching her? Stop touching her! Don't.
There you go. That's why they wanted to escalate it. He touched the flag that she was holding. He didn't touch her. She didn't react as if she'd been touched. This guy, I think, made it up.
Touch her, please. Do not touch her. Please. You are not the same age. Please do not touch her. Don't touch her. Please don't touch her. Please don't. Yeah, don't touch her. Don't touch her.
What's the problem? What's the problem? Don't shoot him. Don't shoot him.
Please don't touch her. Please don't touch her. Please don't touch her.
Yeah, listen,
no, we love your art. We love your music, but we are trying to have because you're touching my friend. Are you allowing her to touch you?
No. I touched the flag.
No.
I touched the flag.
Doesn't matter. You are approaching her with your hand.
You're getting a bit aggressive. You are.
No.
I think we better leave this.
Listen, mate. Yeah,
I'm sorry. You can't touch her. Please don't touch her. Please don't touch her. Please don't touch her. Please don't reach
He's
her
not.
hand.
So I think he honestly keeps repeating that because it's worse than please don't record me, and he wouldn't agree with him to record. Like, if he was still trying to touch her, following her around, being like, I can touch her if I want, I can touch her if I want, that's one thing. But him just standing there with his hands in his pocket after he already backed away, the woman already backed away, and him just keeps screaming, please don't touch her, please don't touch her, please don't touch her, please don't. He's doing that on purpose to get a response.
Please say sorry to her.
Well, I want you to
Please say sorry to her.
No, we're not in China, mate.
That's fine. We're not talking about race. This is not a racist issue. Please don't call us we're not in China. This is the moment that you're trying to reach her hand, touch her without her permission.
I don't want to touch her at all.
That's good. Stay away. Don't touch her.
Well,
don't touch her. Stay away.
We're in a free country now, mate.
Stay away. Don't touch her. Don't touch her. Do not touch her.
And he's told her multiple times, just leave them.
I don't know why.
Do not touch her. Do not touch her.
Do you want to keep saying that?
Do not touch her. Do not touch her. Are you?
So just a second ago, he said, I don't want to touch her at all. And he said, good. And they changed the subject. But as soon as this guy starts pushing back again, it's do not touch her, do not touch her, do not touch her, do not touch her. Oh.
I am, yeah. I'm not touching anyone.
Do not touch her.
I don't know why.
Do not touch her. Do not touch her.
Do you want to keep saying
Do not touch her. Do not touch her. Are you miming me? Are you miming me?
Yeah, I am.
You're miming me.
I am, yeah.
You're miming me.
Yeah,
You're miming me.
I am, yeah. What are you going to do about it?
Wait for it.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it.
What's her name?
What's my name?
Yeah.
What's your name?
What's her name? Are you trying to answer or not? Do you want to answer? If you don't want to answer, that's your right.
What's your name? Is it my right? Are you going to tell me my right?
No, I'm not telling you anything. I just want you to not reach your hand to my friend. And
I don't want you to shout, mate.
I'm sure people on the left, like the Persian Intel lady was doing a character of, jump to, oh my God, this is so racist. What does China have to do with it? Well, maybe the fact that they said they're Chinese, they can't be on TV and they're running around with Chinese flags. And he said, are you guys from China?
Fine, if you don't read your hand, that's fine.
I'm not. Are you going to apologise? Are you in the Communist Party or something?
Stop judging. Stop judging. Why are you calling us communists? Why?
Because you've got a communist flag.
We got the flag of any country. Why are you discriminating a different country?
I'm not discriminating.
Why are you discriminating a different country?
Why are you getting excited?
Because you're discriminating another country.
How am I discriminating?
Yeah, you're saying we're communists for holding a flag.
Yeah, because you got.
He's not saying you're. He asked if you're communist.
Communist flag in your hand.
Oh my God!
Is that not? Is that?
Please educate yourself. All right? Please educate yourself.
So that's not a communist flag.
The country is different from the political agenda. That's not the same.
Is that
matter.
a communist flag?
That's
yes
not
or
the
no?
Same. That's
so
not
it's
the same thing. Yeah, because this is a reason that he's being racist and calling us communists and all that thing, and he was trying to reach. He was trying to reach his hand to my friend. We can't protect ourselves. We have to protect ourselves. We need him to apologize for my friend.
If there was really a danger there,
what?
If there's an actual danger here with him, like we got to protect ourselves, then the issue wouldn't be staying in that area for an apology. It would be leaving that area to get out of danger.
So he's done something wrong, and I can't.
No. We have rights. We don't want to camera us. Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine.
Then leave him alone.
We can use it. Why not? It's our choice.
No, but she's saying we're not.
It's our right. It's our right.
He was here already. Get that camera out my face.
No, it's all right. We're just getting there, mate.
So the original issue is that we were appreciating the music. We're appreciating the music, and they were filming us, and we're nicely coming here saying, "Please don't film us. Don't use the image." That's all we're trying.
Don't use our. We have image rights. Don't use our image.
It's such a shame because you were playing the best piano.
I know.
Yeah, we love the music too.
Well,
to it then. Leave him to it.
We love the music, definitely. But we don't want to.
Anyway, look, all I said was you've got a communist flag. You're telling me what to do. We're in Britain now.
We are not telling you to do. We say we please don't use our images.
You asked me to.
Yes, because she was trying to touch my friend.
Yeah, we just want to celebrate New Year. It's our choice. It's our right.
If I'm reaching my hand to your friend, if I'm reaching my hand to your friend,
my right.
I'm trying to touch your friend. Will you allow it to happen?
He doesn't look like he's very aggressive.
Do you think I'm trying to touch your friend?
Come on, look at his stuff. Does he look very aggressive?
Listen, don't like it. Fuck off.
You cannot say like this way. You cannot say like this way. You cannot say like this way. Who are you? Who are you? Why you say like this way? Who are you? Who are?
As a police.
So basically,
of course, he's going to run over there and say he tried to touch her.
Say we're nicely approaching. So please don't use our image. Is that right? I know, but we were walking around with saying they're filming.
You're in a public place. You're in a public place. You're in a public place. You have no right to your image.
If we're having a police matter, you need to put that phone down.
I was trying to explain to my sister how I got a helmet. By the way, I got a helmet. Look at this. Look how fancy I'm about to look. Hold on, guys. Shut her down. There's a new king on campus, okay? And he has a helmet. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. What do you think about that? I was trying to explain to my sister how I got a helmet and that it's approved for personal electric vehicles. Look at this. Look at that. Oh, you can't see the red light flash? Oh, you can. And I was like, yeah, I got a helmet, and it's like stronger than a normal helmet because it's approved for electric vehicles, AEPVs, electric personal vehicles. And she's like, I know what you're talking about. And I was like, oh. And she's like Paul Blart, right? Not like Paul Blart. Like Walker, Texas Ranger or some shit, okay? Paul Blart.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I think it's a free speech, actually. Well, there we go. So we've got a few people from China telling us that we're not allowed to film. Listen. I'm
so sorry. What annoyed me more was like, let's all celebrate the end of that piece before we could even clap you.
I was wondering why they wouldn't go down is because I got my hell yeah brother glasses on.
Get it. Oh, sorry. I didn't know.
Chopsticks. Damn, but girl. Are we making you like this? Are we bad influences?
Well, yeah, well, that's no way to get rid of them, though. You do enjoy a scrap.
So we got the police over here.
But girl, we were talking the other day about how you reported Travis and his fucking psycho followers as being potentially dangerous, which I defended you. I was like, that's probably true. Like, they are the people that talk about showing up and kicking ass and taking names. And if they don't see it our way, well, how about we just go home and get our Second Amendment rights and come back to that? So they are dangerous. But we were talking about how the school board thing happened with that lady and Travis. The human testicle. Oh, I busted my ass on the one wheel today. I didn't get to tell you that. Let's finish this video and I'll tell you.
Communist Party, you told us not to film, and that's basically what it is. And the guy started shouting. So anyway, they got the police here. Actually, the police said, is anyone actually watching this?
Yeah, they've got 780 people.
Yeah, so hold on, we got the police here. We've got the Chinese Communist Party, and let's see what's going on. I think this is
They'll do anything to make a program.
No, they came over. They came over, Jim. They came over and said, you're not allowed to film us. We're in a public space, in a public piano, and they said, you're not allowed to film. And they were waving Communist Party flags. And I said, oh, that's a communist flag. And they said, oh, that's racist. So what can you do? And then we've got the police here. We've got Kerry and them, and they're filming now. Whatever. So stay there. We'll see what happens. You're coming to the live drama at the piano. This is Dr. K versus the Communist Party, and let's see what's going on. Dear oh dear. So basically, I think they're being told that in England you're allowed to film in public, right? That we're not in China.
It's wild to go up to someone filming in public and tell them not to film you. Like, if it was that big an issue, why wouldn't you stay away from the camera, bro?
And they're basically getting their knickers in a twist because we.
Yes, it's a short bus helmet.
Basically,
it's got a built-in lick guard to where I can't lick my own helmet.
Communist flags waving it. So there we go. Let's just go over and see what's going on. Let's just have a look. They'll probably start shouting. So,
Listen.
Yeah.
Come and talk to me.
I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you, Kerry. I'll talk to you, Kerry, at the piano now.
Yeah, but can you just come and talk to me?
I'll talk to you here.
This is not to go on your channel, man. This is me talking to you.
Well, listen, Kerry, we're in a public space.
Now she's trying to get not recorded. This is not to go on your channel. This is me talking to you.
Yeah, with this doing in my face. Please.
Kerry, if you're recording
listen, this is going on your YouTube channel. But I need to speak to you without this being on your YouTube channel.
Well, what about what? We're in a public space.
Listen, can I just have a conversation with you, please? Without your friend video.
No, because the camera never lies.
Listen, I've got my camera on.
Okay,
and
so
we're
I've
just
got my
having a
camera. Let's have a conversation then.
This is going on your YouTube channel, and I don't want it to go.
That's crazy. Now the cop's trying to do the same thing. But came up to defend him at first.
Kerry, we're in Britain. We're in a public space. We've got a free country.
The first of the matter is
I'm not making
communist comments at the
No, I said you're waving a communist flag. That's all I said.
And the hands were meant to be going towards her. Were you trying to touch her in that
I was not trying to touch her. That's why I have a camera.
Right, okay.
That's why I have a camera.
They've requested that the video where they've approached gets deleted and not used on your channel.
No, they don't have
there's
that
money
right.
being made and they work for a company and their faces can't be shown.
Well, they should be. You're not their private security agent.
I'm not their private security agent.
And we're in a free country.
So he said they work for a company where their their likeness can't be shared anywhere because the Chinese company they work for. But who cares? If that's true and that's the standard they want to hold to, then they're responsible for making sure that there's a clear route wherever the fuck they're going that no one's recording in public. It's not the public's responsibility to take care of her. I like that hat too.
Free space, we're not causing the trouble. The problem is not from us, Kerry. The problem is they are coming over, telling us what to do, and playing the piano. Now, fair is fair, but you are not their private security guards.
I never said I was, and I'm having a conversation with you.
And we're in a free space, in a free country. I'm not causing any trouble.
There's an allegation being made, and that's why I'm
What's the allegation? Now, you told me to stop filming, and now you say there's an allegation. The camera never lies.
The allegation.
That's why I filmed. You told me to turn off my camera, and now you're saying I've got an allegation. What's the allegation?
The reason why I'm asking you not to film it is because I know that you are putting this on your YouTube.
Doesn't matter where it goes. We're in a free country. Sorry.
That's right.
We're in a democracy. We're not in China.
That's exactly right. Doesn't matter where the fuck it goes.
That's what our forefathers...
I know it's going on your YouTube. Cool.
I think I just say things
Say what?
like that.
That we're in a free country?
No, but we're not in China.
Well, we're not. Well, they came... Listen, Kerry, if I was over in China and I started laying the law down to Chinese people at the piano, telling them what they cannot do you think that's appropriate? They came over here, the guy started shouting at me, and he said, you're not allowed to film, you're not allowed... And I said, sorry, we're in Britain, I'm allowed to play. And I said, you're waving a communist flag. And then he said, you're racist. So if I've done anything wrong, tell me. Right, okay. We're in a free... This is a free speech issue. I'm sorry. This is a free speech issue.
At least he's passionate about it and didn't just back down. A lot of people would back down, right? And then they do it to somebody else.
Nobody said that, have they? Who said that?
And on top of that, Kerry, you told me to stop filming, and then you said there's...
And no one's... Again, you didn't say you were their private security firm, but when you come over and say, they're requesting that you do this, this, and this, and it's not the law of the land, then you are acting as their private security. You don't need to request what they want. You need to tell him the law, which is that he's allowed to record in public anytime he wants, right? And make no request from it. Who cares what their request is? Is it the law? Then they don't get to request it of you.
That's an allegation. Now, if I didn't have my camera, how would I prove...
It would be different if she came over and said, look, we're in public. You can record whatever you want. First of all, she tried to get him to stop recording, which was fucking the issue to begin with. That was stupid. But if she would have come over and said, look, we're in public. I know and you know that you can record anything you want. But the reason that they are here, if you just wanted to know, doesn't make a difference. You can still record. The reason they are here is because they work for this company, blah, blah. They're afraid they'll get in trouble for their likeness, whatever. But that doesn't matter. That's different than saying they're requesting that you this, and can you turn this off? Can you turn that off? Can you turn it off while I talk to you? Can you turn that off? Can you turn it off while I talk to you? You know what I'm saying?
My innocence. You know what? I know they are causing the fuss. I am not causing the fuss. I'm just standing up for myself, right?
The fuss being caused and I've come up to deal with it.
Oh, no, listen, Kerry. What's causing the fuss? They're from China.
Listen, you can't say that.
What? They're from China. Self, right?
The fuss being caused and I've come up to deal with it.
Oh, no, listen, Kerry. What's causing the fuss? They're from China.
Listen, you can't say that.
What? They're from China.
The people that are causing the fuss are from China. You can't say that. That's descriptive, Carrie.
I think from China, for fuck's sake.
They've got a communist... Well, can I just say they're from China? Without the F. I sorry for the F.
But you know
they've
exactly what you
listen,
said.
they are waving a communist flag. And I said, you're waving a communist flag. Is that racist? To say they've got a communist flag?
Sounds kind of descriptive.
Chinese New Year, Chinese New Year.
I know. I've got nothing. Listen, I'm just playing at the piano. They stood by the piano. I was filming, and then they started laying down the law. I'm not doing anything. That's why the police get behaved. Because it's not your job. You should listen. You should tell them.
I'm not telling them anything that you're telling me to tell them.
But you just did. I'm not telling you anything that you tell me. That's fine if you want to do that both ways. But you came over here to tell me that they wanted me to delete my video of him.
Okay, get on, play your piano. I'll have a discussion with them.
Tell them we're in a free country. There we go. We're in a free country. Is anyone watching this? Do you see? We've got the communists here telling me not to do. I'm just going to play some boogie woogie. Is Matty England there? Matty, we need you down at the station. Look at, show them the police over there. Look, come and film them before they can motivate the whole lot.
Really bugging up. They're saying, I've just been speaking to the tuner guy who came to repair it, and he said one of the problems is, people like...
That's wild, dude.
I play very gentle. Listen.
I'm glad Intel Lady brought this up. I had only seen an article about it, but I didn't even watch the video. I think I was busy at the time, maybe. Chopsticks, book girl. I love this dude.
Hey there, everyone.
Who can take anyone seriously with that like that?
At the flying squad here.
We had a buddy we grew up with that became a cop, which is weird because we did drugs with him and stuff. But anyways, he became a cop, and then he'll breathe alcohol over the Board of Education. And then he became a state trooper, so he had one of those goofy-looking Tennessee state trooper hats. And they call them Mountie hats, but we called him the Mount Me hat, and he would get so fucking mad. That's not what it's called. Here comes Nick with his Mount Me hat. Right, meow. Oh, super troopers. There was something else that I wanted to show you guys. What the fuck was it? It was like I was going to show this before we left. Oh, first of all, I wrecked the one wheel today on a black walnut, I think. What reminded me of it is it kind of looks like a testicle, and Travis's face kind of looks like a shriveled up testicle. So that's what reminded me of it. So I even saw it, dude. I even saw it, and I was like, man, I better not run over that. It was one of these. Looks like Travis's face. So I was like, man, I better not run over that, because I was going to a new place I hadn't been to before. And I was like, man, I better not run over that. But like the way the asphalt had like sunk down in the area, and the reason the nut was probably there, and the area, it had sunk down where it had been filled before. Like the one wheel, I was going beside it, right? There was only a walkway about this wide. So I was like, I'll go beside it. But the asphalt kind of pulled me over into it, because the way it was angled. And when I hit this fucking nut, at first it tried to stop because I was going slow. I was just looking ahead. At first it tried to stop. Then the tire got up on top of this hard son of a bitch. And I guess where the nut was rolling and the wheel was rolling, the wheel sped up to like 10,000 miles an hour, right? Like at least 10,000 miles an hour. And the board instantly goes no straight up and throws me right off the back, right off the back. Not great. Not a great time. Not gonna lie. Not a great time. Okay. So I did wreck the one right in the middle of town. Everybody was there. No, it was still solid. I actually picked it up. I was like, that fall because this. I showed it to a guy who was driving by. I was like, oh, the nut did it. Right in the middle of town, right on Main Street, busted my ass straight back. It was rough. All right, let me show you one more thing on our way out, guys. I got to get on the treadmill. Let's see if I can grab it first. Oh, I already downloaded it, didn't I? Let's do this. Not that. It's a meme I sent to her. Here we go. So I busted my ass right in front of everybody. A couple old shut down buildings. So this used to be a place, a restaurant, like a drive-in restaurant, where you like drive up and order at the window, but no one really goes in. It's not like a drive-through window. It's like a walk up to the window, but you park in front, one of those restaurants. It was through there in an old title loan place or whatever, right on Main Street. And there's a bunch of traffic in town because that festival's going on, plus it's the weekend. Fell straight back. It was amazing. You had to be there. I wish I'd been recording. At least it'd have been funny, huh? Let me see. Okay. Let me show. So there's a trend going on Twitter right now where a song is actually, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to get a copyright claim for this because I know it. So thank you guys for joining us. If you're on YouTube, I'm cutting it loose right now. If you're on Twitch or Rumble, you're going to see this last video. It's just a funny video my sister made. But if you're on YouTube right now, thank you guys for joining us. I'll be back tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out. I just want to hang out with you guys. It's been a rough week. This kind of capped it off, trying to get back in the swing of things and get everything going again. So if you're on YouTube, thank you guys for joining us. If you're anywhere else, just stick around for just a second, and I'll show you this video my sister made. But either way, like I said, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here. And the support tonight, consider contributing to the show. That's how we fund it, through viewers and your generous contributions over at coldbeer.fund. That's how I pay the bills. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you on the next one. Everybody else, stay put if you're not on YouTube for a couple minutes. Thank you for joining us, YouTube. I appreciate it. So let's see if we can cut YouTube loose. Let me refresh this because it's not even the right channels. Of course, I'm not signed in. Why would I be signed in? That'd be too fucking easy to be signed in like I'm always signed in, except the one time I need to cut a channel off. Anyway, stay put. I know this is going to get copyright flagged. Sorry about your bad luck, YouTube. Thank you guys for joining us. Please consider contributing to the show. We'll see everybody else. Stay put if you're on Twitch. I don't really care on Rumble. You can do whatever you want to. Let me shut down YouTube. Thank you guys. Have a good night.